This is the Renaissance Men podcast, broadcasting live on YouTube and Twitch. Now please welcome your host, Stuart Garrard.
Good evening and welcome to episode 169 of the Renaissance Men podcast. I am your host, Stuart Garrard, and joining me as always is my good friend, Jimmy the Saint.
Yay! Hello, people of Earth. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, children.
Oh, let's get comfy. Settle in, Jimbo.
Settle in. It's a long one.
Here we go.
People at home, settle in.
How are you, mate? You all right?
I'm better today.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. You had quite the adventure out on the town on Wednesday.
Wednesday. I visited a friend to watch a play, which I'll talk about at some point. But there was too much drink, late night, and then very early morning with daughter being sick. So 3 hours sleep, 3.5 hours sleep, running on empty, and then we had to do the Mando watch along.
We did, which we did. We got through it. We got through it. You were a bit flaky. I could tell you were flagging towards the end of the episode. When you didn't really summarize any thoughts, but it was okay.
I didn't have any thoughts.
I covered. It's fine.
John Simmons.
Go check out episode 2 of Men DeLorean. Not a spelling error, as we suggested. It is branding.
Yeah. John Simmons, scale modeler. I saw him today, and he said I was surprised you didn't enjoy it that much. No, and I think I did. I did enjoy it.
I'm not sure what happened.
I did. Stu, you just got to excuse me for 5 seconds. I'll be straight back. I can hear you.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll go into my week. I can hear myself, but that's fine. We'll go with it. I can't hear myself now. Well done, Jimmy. So how's my week been? It's been okay. That difficult return to work from a holiday week. You know, you've been enjoying the life of Riley on annual leave. You got to come back into the office and you got to get back into the groove. You've forgotten all your passwords after 7 days. Jesus, so professional. It's been one of those kind of weeks. Started off with like a bear with a sore head, but kind of as the week went on, as we got close to the weekend again, I cheered up. So yeah,
that's good.
Got there in the end. We plowed through. But aside from that, I just want to take a moment to give some shout outs and some thanks, some personal thanks from myself and Jimmy to you, the Renaissance Men community, because we reached our 350th subscriber on YouTube. I think that deserves an air horn, don't you?
It does.
So thank you for that. 350 subs. Happy days. And if you are watching for the first time, do subscribe. We love it.
Please subscribe.
Yes, please. And
love every sub.
And our 400th Twitter follower. Another milestone. I think that's pretty good. And we started or repopulated some videos on our TikTok channel. There we go.
All the horns.
Some good views on TikTok. So going forward, I think we'll post the little short videos we do on TikTok and on YouTube. Spread the love.
The network, the Renaissance Men network is spreading.
Yep. Indeed it is. Other than that, Jimmy, I've got a question for you. Father to father. Are your kids into Bakugan?
Isn't that when loads of men stand around a woman?
No.
No? Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, you went somewhere else there, mate, I'm afraid. Bakugan. No, Bakugan?
No.
Nothing, really? Nothing at all? Okay, I thought I'd get something from you.
Never heard of it. What is it?
These are like, it's like Pokemon. So it's a card. Right. It's a card game, but you have little toys that you use with the card game as well. And they're like Transformers. They're animals, but they're robots. So that's kind of there's an anime show as well that's on Netflix. So, you know, there's all the tie-in branding and all that rubbish. But they're like little marbles that kind of fold in on themselves. And the game is
we've got some of them.
Yeah. And you roll them and then they spring out. they're amazing little bits of engineering. They are.
Yeah.
Benji's got right into those. That's the reason I bring it up, and I can see myself staring into an abyss of high expenditure with this if we get deep into it. That's all I'm worried about.
We haven't got into that. The kids are all about video games at the moment. That's all they do.
Well, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a cheap hobby in itself, really.
No, but hey, they enjoy it and it keeps them quiet.
And I think kids are always they rinse games, don't they? They'll play a game, but then they'll keep playing it.
Oh yeah,
month to month to months.
Yeah, they'll keep going back to them and everything.
Yeah.
When we first got Plants vs Zombies, my eldest was like, "This is too hard." Now, the eldest and the youngest have nearly completed it.
Esports pro.
Yeah. Right.
Are your kids into collecting anything? Have they kind of got? Because I know you're a mad collector of.
I've pushed stuff on them to collect. I've pushed Star Wars on them countless times to collect things.
Nothing yet?
No, I've tried to push them into wrestling, Star Trek, anything that I will find interesting. And the eldest collects Pokemon cards, or used to. He's still got quite a lot of Pokemon cards.
Yeah,
but no. Mostly, collect. My little girl collects like a lot of unicorn stuff.
Okay.
It's not really a collection.
No.
And the youngest one collects Halloween paraphernalia.
Watch him. Keep an eye on that one. Okay, well that's kind of my week. I've it's been a pretty standard week, just getting back into work and celebrating the World of the Renaissance Men podcast with great success.
That's lovely.
I know.
I've had an up and down week, a tumultuous week.
Oh dear,
with worky things.
You sounded stressed earlier in the week.
I don't want to go into.
I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully, this is a release for you.
Lack of sleep, all of these things, but the biggest struggle this week for me, and people notice about me, that I have a massive issue with foxes.
Yes.
Now, I am really sorry to everyone out there that I don't have this on camera, because after it happened, my wife was there. I was like, I wish you would have filmed that, because what happened was I was upstairs doing something or other.
Yeah.
And my wife just shouted, "The Saint!" It's not what she calls me. "The Saint! Fox!" And I was like, yeah, there's always a fox. She goes, "Fox!" And she goes, "Quick!" And I was like, what's going on? I grabbed the only weapon that I could, and it was a very flimsy plastic coat hanger. And I came running downstairs. Bearing in mind, I'm in a t-shirt, boxer shorts that are too small for me, and odd socks. And I come running into the kitchen, and my little girl is on this chair over here.
The
wife's at the cooker, where she belongs. And at the... Nice! And I didn't mean it. I didn't mean that. And at the doors of the kitchen, a massive fox. No joke, like big, like a dog.
On his hind legs.
And like that kangaroo in that video. And there was a bin bag out there. Bear in mind, this is only about 5 o'clock. It's not like dark when the little shits come out. And they're just this foxes trying to get into this bin bag. And I went, hi. And it's just carrying on. And I had this plastic coat hanger. I started smacking my own glass door, as I'm looking at it, and it looks up, and I'm like, get away, and it's just staring at me. And then I opened the door. I didn't want to go out because the thing was fucking massive, and I just opened the door a little bit, and it sort of moved away a bit into the garden. Then it was just staring at me, and I was stood there going, get out of here, you monster, get away. My little girl starts going, don't kill it. Don't kill it. And I'm not going to kill it. I've got, get out of it. I've got this plastic coat hanger. It eventually saunters off to the end of my garden, which is it's not far. It's not a big garden. And there's a cat flap in the gate from the previous owners. Get out. Go with that cat flap. It turns around and walks into my garage because the door was open because we've got the dishwasher there. Starts looking around the gate. I'm like, get out of the garage, you get out. Neighbours must have been thinking, what the hell is going on? That's weird. That's scary. The fox then comes out the garage. There's a box I've got at the end, like a big plastic box, what I put bin liners in. It looks at me, cocks its leg, pees this sort of yellowy green. I threw this plastic coat hanger at the fox, missed it by a country mile, like it was nowhere near. And it just sort of like looked where the coat hanger had gone, looked back at me, I'm like, get. And I went out there. I thought, I'm going out there, terrified it was going to attack me. And it just at that point went and went through the cat flap. I was like, that's it, you go.
He's mugged you right off.
Stu, this is how much he's mugged me off. The next morning, when I came downstairs, he had been back. I'd moved the bin bag. He had been back and shit on my step. And I was like, furious. I went to work. When I came back in the evening, wife's cooking a dinner, as she should be. And she, again. And she went, have you been into the garage? I went, no, why? Yeah, Fox has been in there and shat on the floor. He went in. Just as you walk in the door, it had shit on the floor. Now you tell me that that's a mindless beast. that I'm crazy for thinking there's a vendetta. They were strategic attacks on my home.
I think you got a case. To be fair, you got
right.
Yeah, it sounds he mugged you off, and he went back for the double deuce.
Yeah,
the double deuce dirty protest.
I also found a towel, one of our kids' towels in the garden.
Oh, I hope
how's that got in the garden? He pissed on it. I went to bring it in, and then I lifted it up and smelled it, and I was like, oh, and he's peed on it. She went, one of the kids must have left it out. I was like, no, he's gone in the garage, found it in like an old plastic bag of like clothes we're going to give to charity that never get there, and ripped it apart, dragged it out into the garden, and gone, eh. God, it was crazy. And it wasn't until later on. I said to the wife, I wish you would have filmed me doing all of that, because I would have looked like a loony. It would have gone viral. Yep. Very much like, do you remember Get Him Derry, the bat with the Irish family? It would have been like that. Oh, horrific.
The Saint, quick! Amazing. It would have gone, yeah. Oh, mercy. I don't think we've had a better anecdote from you. So thank you for bringing your A game.
A shitting fox. That's all I need.
Double deuce.
I'm like Kenneth Williams or a double.
Yeah. Ronnie Corbett would be proud of doing that on his little chair.
Yeah. I said to the fox, shit twice in my garden.
Oh dear. Thank you for that, Jimmy. Anything else this week? Nothing's topped that, I guess.
I had some fun moments and some tired moments, and the craziest moment of my life.
Yeah.
But Stu, before you continue, some comments in the comment sections there.
That's exactly where I was going to go. Let's acknowledge, like Roman Reigns. Let's acknowledge them. Lord Doolan, welcome to the chat. Lovely to have you with us, Lord. Ben White's in the chat. He says, always got a question for Ask Us Anything. We'll save that then. Welcome, Ben. We'll just say hello and we'll save your question for later. Pete Turner. Hello, Pete. Jim, is the rabbit still alive after the wire chewing fiasco? And if so, will it be going for round 2?
It is still alive. It's more than, that wire. It's gone through, it goes a lot of tags, the carpet, vegan chocolate. And today I've found all along my Hoover wire, gnawed all along the Hoover wire.
Yep.
But we're thinking that's why the fox keeps coming, because obviously some of the droppings will go out in a bin bag.
Yeah, it's probably got a scent.
It would tear my rabbit apart. He's being all right, the rabbit, but he's alive. She's
I was going to say, you want to train her up to be a fox fighter. I don't know, like can she lift little weights? I don't know, can they do that? She's like train her up.
She's getting more confident.
MMA.
She started running upstairs now where she's not allowed. She goes behind the sofa where she's not allowed. We've got one of those mechanical mechanical sofas where when you press the button, you go back. And I'm terrified about her getting her fur caught in one of those mechanisms and me going, and then just tearing a rabbit in twain.
Oh dear, yeah, nasty. That's a nasty way to go. Martin Coker, welcome, evening chaps. Hello, sir. Thank you for joining us.
I hope.
Oh, Clive Illington. Hello, Clive. He's a YouTube genius. I'm honoured to have Clive in the chat. Hello, Clive. Hilarious Fox story. Thank you.
Fox News.
Pete Turner asks, how much voltage can it take? Asking for a friend.
Loads, I think.
We'll find out, I reckon, in a few weeks.
We'll get there at some point.
Yep.
As soon as it kills itself on one of my wires, I'll get the voltage.
There we go. I forgot to mention we've got a competition this week. Our good friends at Outright Games have given us a copy of DC Justice League Cosmic Chaos to give away, which I'll be doing shortly.
Oh, that deserves an all.
Oh, I'm not prepared for that.
Yes.
My only worry is we won't get anyone in the chat who wants it.
Well, they need to have what, a PS5?
I do. It's on PS5. It's out today. It's a brand new game as of today. The game's out today.
Wow, and we're giving it away.
We're giving it away. Yeah.
Well, Stu, maybe we should announce it, and then it can go through the week. Subscribe, and you've got, do it, and our regular listeners can put, and then next week we'll announce the winner. Or have you already got a plan?
Yeah, but it's fine. I've queued up the wheel and everything. The wheel is back.
The wheel is back.
The wheel is back.
But if they haven't got PS5,
well, no. I'm just saying, if you're in the chat, right? It's fine. It's 5 people in the chat. Look, you can get a copy of DC Justice League Cosmic Chaos. If you want in on that, just I don't know. What should we say? What should we get them to type in the chat? What safe word?
No, I would say no. You've got to get someone to subscribe.
Okay,
that's what they've got to do.
Okay.
Well, they message a friend, say I'm entering a competition. Subscribe to this channel.
Yeah.
And then once you've done it, message us saying you've got a subscriber, and if our subscriber numbers have gone up, we know it's true.
All right. So I've got to look at that on the fly. You don't want much.
I'll look at it. Okay. No, they'll comment. They'll tell us, and I can look.
Okay.
We've got to get something out of this, Stu. Not just giving stuff away.
Well, no,
not charity.
Well, no, I thought it was a nice thing to do, just to give it away to the lovely people who watch this show.
And that's why
so much love.
That's why you brought me on as the business sense.
Okay, yeah, that's the.
If you've got a PS5 or know someone who does, maybe a relative or a nephew or something, and you want to win this, get a subscriber for us and tell us.
If you haven't subscribed yourself, then do subscribe, and then you can get in on it.
Good point.
And then just let us know in the chat that you've done it. That's a lot to ask of people in one evening. But
well, no one wins if no one subscribes.
We'll
the rollover week.
I'll give it to Jimmy. So there we go. If you want a copy of that game, get someone to subscribe and put it in the chat that someone's done that.
Hey, that's simple. See, just text a mate and go subscribe to this for me, will you, mate?
Okay. Yeah. I'll go with that. We'll go with that. Should we go with that? We'll go with that.
We'll go with that.
Oh, I didn't actually have any Ask Us Anythings, but I'm glad Ben's come in with one. So let's do that. Let's head straight into our Ask Us Anything segment. Here we go. This is the segment where people, the audience, the Renaissance men community at large, ask us questions. Any old twaddle, and we try and answer it.
And feel free to send us other questions in the chat. We can
please do. That was going to be my go-to, is to ask the chat live on the fly questions.
Lovely.
Would I get them to ask us questions? If you get my meaning. Yeah. Whew. Anyway, Ben White asks, friend from Australia, wrestling super champ. Ben White asks, why are the British so damn funny? He asks, because he's been watching Taskmaster. So Ben is taking quite the deep dive into British comedy as of late, isn't he? We got him to watch Would I Lie to You?
Oh, of course, that's right. It was Would I Lie? I was thinking it was watching, but he's completed Would I Lie to You and moved on to another show that's got about 15 seasons in Taskmaster.
He'll do them by probably lunchtime Sunday.
Yeah, the life of a wrestler.
Yeah, the boy's a beast. But why are we? Why are the Brits so funny?
What
do you think it is?
Shakespeare, probably, Stu.
Yeah, it's just something innate in our DNA as a nation that makes us so witty.
It's been around for a long time, comedy in England, hasn't it?
Mm. He's
Like
obviously come to the right
older.
people, isn't he? He's asking the right people here as well.
We're older than a lot of other countries, so we've had more time to perfect it.
Do you think so? We've got a very self-deprecating sense of humour, haven't we?
Yeah.
We know we're rubbish. We know we're rubbish and racist and just generally idiotic people, but we like to kind of celebrate that with a little laugh and a gag.
And I think we're not too confident. You know, when you get like the big American stand-up, sometimes you're like, all right, bring it down. You're right, that self-deprecating sort of just a normal person, normal chap or chapess. And there's witticisms.
Pete suggests it's something to do with the class system. Could be.
Interesting. Could you elaborate on that, Pete?
Yeah, it's been ingrained in our society for some time, you know, the class system, and
which goes back to Shakespeare and punching up at authority and that type of thing.
Yeah, taking a pop at the man, like Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon.
Yeah, all the lower classes, the Luddites.
We have to take the piss to survive the horrors of the class system.
Interesting.
So you think it's like it's a survival mechanism?
Yeah, otherwise we'd just kill ourselves.
Yeah, life's so turgid and shit on these isles that we have to just.
You've got to laugh. You got to laugh.
You die.
That's a famous English saying, isn't it? You got to laugh. You got to laugh or you cry. That's the saying, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what it is. It's just I don't know. It's a deeply ingrained part of our DNA that comes from the class system and wanting to not let the bastards grind us down.
And I think Australia and New Zealand have quite a British sense of humour, don't they?
I think we share quite a lot, don't we?
We've shared that because
it's one thing.
The prison, we shared that. But they've got more reasons to be happy in Australia and New Zealand. You know, it's nicer, it's warmer.
There is that. Yeah.
Prettier men. You know, there's more reason to be a bit more happy out there, surfing and whatnot.
It's an interesting one because we do have a fabled sense of humour, and but it's a very unique sense of humour, isn't it? It is that self-deprecating kind of, very witty and just better than everyone else's comedy, I would say.
Well, you don't see a lot of other stand-ups from other countries, do you? But they're probably talking in their native tongue, so you wouldn't.
No.
I'm a big fan of Henning Wehn.
Oh, is he the German one?
He's the only German comedian.
He's really German, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's very funny. He's great.
He is good. Very funny looking chap as well. You know, he's off on the right foot because he looks funny. Yeah, funny looking face.
Yeah, there's something going on there
with the German face, German voice. I'm not suggesting there's a particular look for German people. That's a minefield. But you know what I mean? He looks weird and he's got a weird voice.
Yeah,
makes it easy to laugh at him. Pete asks, so getting back to the voltage question, what are we talking? 100, 150?
I'd say, Pete, I wouldn't try and electrocute your rabbit unless you're trying to make it look like an accident for insurance purposes or you're worried your family member's going to be upset. I'd say if you're really just trying to kill it, hammer. Yeah. They're very easy to catch in the house.
Well, as I suggested a couple of weeks back, a car jack was quite good.
Well, you watched, didn't you? As a man bludgeoned a rabbit to death with a car jack.
You make it sound like a snuff film. It wasn't intentional that I was watching him. Just like I glanced in my rearview mirror.
I thought you said you and a load of other people pulled up in a car, got around, all turned your lights on in the middle. Watch some bloke destroy a rabbit's head.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
Or fox.
Or fox, yeah. Any other questions in the chat? If you've got any other questions, do ping them over. whilst you've got our attention, because other than that, we don't have much. Yeah. So we've I don't know. Now that I've said that, I feel like I need to give it a few minutes for people to ask.
Stu, why don't we ask each other a question? You got any questions for me?
Have I got any questions for you? Okay, I've got a question. Do you ever give up? No, have you given up on the acting dream?
Oh, I thought you was going to say alcohol, and I was going to say, have you been talking to my wife?
Do you, deep down inside of you, do you still think there's one great role in me, and I could still bloody go like an aging prize fighter?
No.
Okay, you've given up on the dream.
Yeah, I mean, I have one thing that is on my bucket list, or not a bucket list. My dream list is to have a sitcom or a sitcom pilot that I have written, co-written, whatever, on a TV channel.
Okay.
Being in it, maybe a tiny part. The idea of acting now scares me. I wouldn't remember the lines. And I wasn't good. I was all right, but I wasn't great. Nowhere near. And so I would want to be in that. But the idea of having something I've done on a channel, ideally BBC, or ideally BBC, is a sort of a dream. And like because obviously we do all the blessed stuff. I do say that to my to Matthew Early, and Tim Downey. I say that to them who are on TV and films loads. They do all their bits and bobs. But because growing up, BBC comedy was such a massive thing for me. Bottom and Blackadder, and it's just that. And the crazy thing is, I could do something on TikTok and get more views than I would putting something on the BBC.
Wipe your bum or something on TikTok. Live.
Chase a massive fox out of my garden. That could have gone viral and got millions. But loads of people don't give a shit about BBC anymore, and quite rightly so. But for me, it's just having that that little BBC logo coming up before, and whatever crap sitcom I've written. But the acting, no, I don't. But that is something that I would love.
Interesting.
But I'm not pushing towards it. I haven't made the calls.
Well, thank you for that.
That's okay.
Did I probe a bit deeper than you were expecting?
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's good. Question for you, Stu. Who is your favourite actor and actress?
Okay. I think actor is always.
It doesn't have to be the best.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Because I've got favourite films that aren't the best film.
No. Bill Murray for me, actor-wise, just because he's been in so many films that I loved growing up. And I think a lot of the ones in my list would be actors from films I loved as a youngster into your early teens, like your Star Wars, and like Harrison Ford would be up there for me.
Yep.
Michael J. Fox, purely because of Back to the Future. Christopher Lloyd, purely because of Back to the Future. Stuff like that. Iconic actors. And they're not necessarily considered the best, but they affected me because they were in films that were like signposts in your growing up, in your maturity. In terms of lady actresses or actors, what is the preferred word these days? Actors?
It's up to them. Okay. It's up to them. Some will say actress, some will say actors.
I always like Natalie Portman is always up there for me. I really like
pervert.
I like most stuff she's been in. I mean, I loved Leon.
Yeah, but she peaked at Leon. That's the problem.
I loved Garden State. Obviously, I love Star Wars, although the prequels aren't as good as the other stuff.
Do you know after the film Leon, or it's called, what's it called in America? It's called like
don't
The
know,
Specialist or something, or
Assassin or something. I don't know. I didn't know it
Yeah.
had another
it's
name.
got a different. I think it's called The Specialist, but I could be wrong. Let us know in the chat.
What is that?
It's like the film Filofax. It's called something different. It's called like How to Get Ahead in Business in America, because I don't think they had filofaxes. I think they called them something. I don't know. But after the film Leon, when Natalie Portman played the 14-year-old,
something like that,
friend of Jean Reno, one of the newspapers, was it the newspapers? It was something in the media, did an Emma Watson thing. They did the countdown to when she'd be 18.
Yeah.
Isn't that the horriblest thing?
That's such a 90s thing as well. I don't think you wouldn't do that these days. I don't think.
God, no. They did that with Hermione. The Sun did that with Hermione with Emma Watson.
Yeah. Yeah. Filthy.
That's great. But sorry, yeah.
I'm trying to think who else, really. Welcome, John Simmons, to the chat, by the way.
John, who's your favourite actress?
We're trying to think. I'm trying to think of my favourite actress. Done actors. I don't want to say actor, but I feel like there needs to be an emphasis on the O. Actresses. Natalie Portman. Sigourney Weaver. She's always good. Good value.
Sigourney Weaver, wonderful. So just the cast of Ghostbusters is your top actors and actresses. Neil J in the comments, thank you very much. The Professional. That's what it was called. The Professional. Nice comment from John Simmons there. Lindsay Dawn Mackenzie did that for page 3. Good times. What, a countdown to when she was 18? Surely she started at 18, didn't she? God help us if she didn't.
I know. Christ, what an age we lived in.
Do you remember Lindsay Dawn Mackenzie, Stu?
I do, yeah.
So, Fiona Shaw. Yes! Do you know what? I think she's my favourite now. After that, Andor pushed me over the edge.
She is good. I do think, I look at her and think, yes! Like I recognised her in Harry Potter. I didn't realise it was her in Harry Potter.
No, nor did I. That's the brilliance of her. You've seen her in so many things and you don't realise her. No.
Yeah. I do wish they'd gone with "fuck the Empire" though. That would have been so good. She could deliver that line. But
No, there's a little quote from Fiona Shaw in the comments there from Showcode.
Legal to show her blobs.
No, Showcode said it. A quote from Fiona Shaw. No, I never remember Fiona Shaw saying legal to show her blobs.
Peter.
Peter. That's in Three Men and a Little Lady, isn't it? When she's chatting up Ted Danson. No, not Ted. Is it Ted Danson or Tom Selleck?
Tom Selleck.
Yeah. I think she's got like chicken all in her teeth.
Yes. Classic. I love those bloody films, you know.
Yeah. Wonderful stuff.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. But I'm struggling with female actresses, so I'm sorry that I didn't give you a definitive answer. I might have to come back to you with that.
Natalie Portman, you said, the greatest actress of all time.
Yep. Just saying.
No.
Just saying. Portman, Watson, and
Lindsay Dawn Mackenzie. You know, all the women that the Sun did a countdown to when you could make love to them legally.
The countdowns.
That's what I miss about the 90s. Countdowns.
Welcome, Alex, off in the chat. How's Hair Watch going?
I didn't bring a photo for this because not a lot of change. No,
he's in his wife's dressing gown apparently.
Okay. Bless.
Right.
There you go.
That was Ask Us Anything. We went on a tangent, so apologies for that, but it's good.
I think that worked.
Thank you. As always, Thursday nights I put a post up on Twitter asking for your questions. So if you do have anything pressing to ask us, then that's the place to post them.
Please do.
Right. You mentioned the BBC, Jimbo.
Oh, are we on the hot potato?
We're going to talk hot potatoes. Have you
done a sting?
I've done a sting, but it's not. Yes. It's going to be a disappointing sting for you.
I'm happy.
It's just a generic sting.
It's fine. But I'm still happy you did one.
Yeah. For
Stu, just before you go, talking of hot potatoes, Alex Roth, hair is rubbish at the moment.
Okay.
There you go. And I mean, he looks like a hot potato.
Okay. Don't we all? I feel your pain. Not what a bastard. Right. Hot potato time. Here we go. hot potato, and this is really hot potato because this is developed since I wrote the notes.
Oh,
this
crikey!
Is developed as of this evening.
Tell us.
Well, I want to talk about the Gary Lineker controversy.
Hmm.
Gary Lineker this week on Twitter spoke out against the Conservative Party newly announced policy for fighting illegal immigration through very draconian measures and just stopping anyone's right to, anyone's safe right to get into the country. That's another issue. But what I wanted to focus really on is the ridiculous outcry at Gary Lineker's just throwaway tweet. Yeah. I mean, he has got a history of, getting a little bit political on his Twitter account, which I think is well within his own right. It's his own account. I know he's a presenter on the BBC, but I still think that he's not involved in current affairs in any way, shape, or form. He doesn't present the news, or he's not in a political sphere. He just presents Match of the fucking Day.
Now, Stu, can you tell us what his tweet said? Have you got his tweet?
I probably could.
That would be handy, I think, for anyone who doesn't know, because I didn't know the story. You put it in the notes a couple of days ago. I was like, "Oh, what's this?" And I looked into it, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." And I even watched Piers Morgan discuss it on his uncensored show.
Well,
you'll be happy to hear, Stu. Piers agrees with you.
I know, which is weird. That just does not sit well with me. I feel a bit icky.
You never want to be on the same side as Piers.
No. Are we the bad guys? So let me see if it's got. Here's a quote from his. Oh, come on.
So, and he has done stuff like this before. And before the World Cup in Qatar, he did a little speech. I don't know if that was written by the BBC, but he came on and said, homosexuality is illegal here. Loads of people died in the making of this stadium.
Yeah.
There's a big issue with the Qatari people. Now let's enjoy some football. And
shit!
He did that there, and no one seemed to mind. Well, Piers didn't like that, actually.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find it, but no, I mean he alluded to the fact that a lot of the language and rhetoric coming out from the announcement and how the Conservative Party announced this new bill, saying like stop the boats, and trying to really put this rhetoric again, us versus them, us versus the filthy foreigner trying to seek aid and shelter in our country. It is very much rhetoric that you would have found in 1930s Germany. He didn't mention the Nazi Party at all. He didn't mention the word Nazi at all, but he's right. That is, if you look at it side by side, like look at kind of the political discourse that was coming out of Germany at that time and what's been spoken about now in Britain, 2023 Britain, he's right. He's got a point. And I think he's got the right to express that point. And what I think the most tragic thing about this whole story is the fact that the Gary Lineker situation is getting more news than what I think. Others may disagree. That's fair enough. I think we all have our right to an opinion and to we've all got an opinion on whether we think there's too much immigration or whether we need to be more open as a country and allow more people in or allow people more safer routes to come into the country. Everyone's got an opinion on that, but what I find astonishing is just the amount of news that was taken up with this story is predominantly about Lineker's tweet and not the policy itself, which has flaws.
Why,
and
Stu?
I don't know. I don't know. Well, I would suggest that, far be it from me to suggest that the BBC is part. People at the heads of the BBC are well in with the Conservative Party, and there's agendas and machinations in smoky rooms behind the scenes. I don't know. That's
100%. It's distraction, isn't it? It's distraction. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I watch a lot of conspiracy theorists, and they're all right. And they talk about a lot of these things that come out in mainstream media being distractions. So you're distracted from the real issue of what is going on. And it sounds like you would say the real issue is, the actual problem itself rather than Gary. Some interesting chat in the chat here.
Yeah, so Showcode is expanding on some of the late breaking news that we were going to bring you, and that is that the BBC have forced Lineker out of presenting the match of the day. They've asked him to step aside because he's not apologised for it. They've asked him to apologise for his tweet, and quite rightly saying, no, bruv, I'm not doing that. So they've asked him to step aside, and so have now, in solidarity with Gary, Ian Wright, Alan Shearer, and apparently Alex Scott. They've all kind of siding with Gary, and
that's great.
Refusing to appear. Yeah, that's
great.
That's lovely to hear that there is some solidarity and some,
well, it's taken away trying to take away their freedom of speech, isn't it? He didn't say it on the TV show. Exactly. He said it on his own private Twitter. He's an independent contractor. He doesn't have he's not a permanent employee of the BBC. I heard, according to Pierce, and I apologise, that's my source, that it says nothing in his contract. Pierce was going, I spoke to Lineker this morning. He reckoned he had spoken to him. Probably tapped his phone and heard him speaking to someone else. But he said there's nothing in his contract that says on his Twitter he can't, make his views. He can say that Tories are as bad as the Germans, and he can say, I like salt and vinegar Walker's crisps. It's, it's up to him.
That would be heinous, absolutely heinous if he suggested that. Salt and vinegar crisps. But yeah, it's just ironic, isn't it, that the freedom of speech apparently only goes one way and is okay until you don't agree with it. Someone's freedom of speech is someone else's. I don't know, whatever. But
that is the problem, isn't it? I mean, it's like Gina Carano on Mandalorian.
Indeed, yes.
Now, she said different things and stupider things than what Gary said. No one stood with her. They just fired her because it wasn't in line with what they believe, and that is the thing, isn't it? If you're making comments, crazy world, that we live in now, with everyone's just out and open. We were speaking about it last week only, wasn't it? Where I said, if you're in the industry of entertaining people, you shouldn't really make any comments on social media or even have it, because you can alienate 50% of your audience.
Yeah.
Look what's happened here. Lineker's been fired. He probably doesn't give a shit because he's a multi-millionaire thanks to those Walker's crisps and everything he does. But it just goes to show, like, you will get sacked if you do stuff like this.
You do have to be so careful, and you do have to be careful you don't upset the power bungers at the BBC. They're all on their BBC gravy train.
Yeah. Well, you know about football. Will Gary Lineker be picked up by one of the other channels? Is it the other channels get big enough? Football, Sky or ITV?
You're right, because he seemed to have like an independent type contract. He would do work with BT Sport as well for the Champions League. So
right,
I could see him maybe if this ultimately, if he doesn't go back. I mean, if he's not gonna apologise, then, and the BBC aren't giving in, then we're at a tangent. We're at a crossroads. He either has to go or, well, he has to go. And I can see him going to BT Sport. That's quite an easy transition for him to make, to be honest.
Yeah, Sky. If they don't do it, Sky will.
Yeah.
It's
solidarity. Good on them. Fuck the BBC.
Yeah, I hope he's talking about the footballers rather than the BBC for firing.
We don't know. That's a good point. Yeah. Who are you siding with, Alex?
With Alex. Now he'll be tempted now to say something else, but Alex has said BT, so he's presuming to go to he'd go after BT.
But Neil J.
Go ahead, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I just resent the license fee. Even if my only viewing is you guys live on YouTube, I still have to pay the full whack to the BBC. I want a slice of this.
What?
I want a slice.
What,
surely no. Is that right?
What, you watch us on the BBC, Neil? Are we on the BBC? Did we not know this?
which has to take it all back.
Thank
Lineker,
you.
you scum. Absolute left-wing champagne socialist.
Another comment from Clive.
Clive, issue is DG on big drive on impartiality drive. With new social media policy, and although he's not staff, it's the perception that public has that he's face of the BBC.
Yes.
And Clive.
This is what I was going to say.
Clive is well in with the BBC. Yeah, Clive is. He knows
sounds like he is.
No, he does know his stuff.
No, I believe you. That was the problem. People were saying he's the face of the BBC. I don't watch a lot of BBC, so I don't know who's the face. I thought, it was like Sherlock Holmes or something. Or the fate. Who's Miranda Hart? She's on the BBC, isn't she?
Mindy. Yeah.
What's her take on this? Oh, Gary, what did you say now? So you say that the Brits are funny. Don't watch Miranda.
Yep. Okay. The Director General is on a big drive. Is on a big impartiality drive. Okay, so perhaps he's going against a cultural thing at the BBC. Yeah.
But it's as we say, it's people's freedom of speech on Twitter. It's not. He's not saying it on the BBC.
Here we go. We know what side.
I really like the new law against boat dwellers. Yeah. He's joking. He's joking.
I'd love to live in a houseboat.
Would you? You can't swim.
Well, no, but when you go down to our lovely island, you see the houseboats. They just look lovely.
Yeah, they do look lovely. Yeah,
that's an aside.
Neil
Sorry,
that's not a hot potato.
If you watch any live videos in the UK, you have to pay a license fee. I didn't know that.
BBC live videos. What, on the internet?
So if you watch, I must admit, if you're watching the iPlayer, they ask you if you've got a license fee. But surely, if you're just watching YouTube on your telly, like you've got a smart TV and you're watching YouTube, surely you wouldn't have to pay the license fee for that, would you?
That's amazing if you do. I shouldn't think so. But I think someone's having you, Neil. Where'd you send the check? Bloke down the road.
Yeah.
Show code comment.
He says this could be a Top Gear Amazon moment.
But with a nicer person than Clark's.
Yeah.
Not a nicer person, just a better man.
Yeah.
Or a real person like Gary Lineker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, Stu.
Yeah.
So your thoughts were you were very happy Lineker said it. You're glad he stood by it.
Yeah.
He's been fired now. Others footballers have gone with him. That'll be their loss. It's stupid. Like no real people will really care, will they? Even like the Luddites that the what do you call them? Ham faces. What do you call them?
Gammons.
Luncheon meat. Gammons. That's them.
Although I like ham faces. That's a good term.
Yeah.
The Lunchables.
The gammons who will go, no, bloody keep immigrants out. They'll still watch the football with Gary Lineker on it. They won't care. No one will care.
No. Yeah, it's
we still watch the Saudi shows on WWE.
That's a good point. That is a good point. We take that blood money, don't we? We watch those Saudi shows.
Me and the wife was talking about this earlier because
I play the Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, people were saying I'm not playing Hogwarts, and what else? There was something else that's happened. I was like, people are saying they're not going to watch something. I can't remember what it was, but it's like, don't stop your entertainment. Like, we're never all going to agree. You're never going to agree on everything. Like, that's madness.
True.
I don't agree with most of my friends' political beliefs. Don't put any of them on there. That's one of my best friends, Stu. I'm seeing him on Sunday.
Oh dear. Yeah, so there we go. That was this week's hot potato. It's probably a story that's going to run throughout the weekend. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Weekend. So we'll see what happens. Who's going to present match of the day? To be fair, who watches match of the day still? That would be my question.
I imagine Showcode does.
Okay, right.
Is it not good? What's it?
I don't watch it. Oh yeah, of course it is. Is it a show about football?
No, but do they have a match on?
Here he is. Hello, Benjmeister. How are you, mate? I've been talking about Bakugan earlier. Yeah, looking forward to getting some Bakugan this weekend.
This is a hot potato stew. What's he doing here? He's got an effing teddy bear. This is Bobby from Benji's school. So he gets them. A kid gets to take this home each weekend, and Benj has him this weekend. So it
took me a long time to get here.
We can write that Bobby went on the internet.
Oh yeah, you can, can't you? In the middle of a really important section for the program.
Well, there we go. Man is taking a photo. Right. Night. Love you.
My new idea.
See ya.
Bye, scrambled egg.
Bye, mate. See ya. Love you.
Scrambled egg. What's that? Cockney slang for saying?
Probably. Motherfucker.
I don't know what for. There you go. Yeah, that will carry on into the weekend, Stu, and we'll keep people up to date.
Indeed. Yeah. John, you missed the Fox story.
The Fox story. Yeah. Sorry, John. I did tell John earlier when I saw him. So
amazing.
He heard it.
Well, that's enough of Gary Lineker. That was hot potatoes. More of that next week. Great new segment. Sorry, I ruined it with my boy, but
you didn't ruin it. It was great. No. Just be prepared that's going to get released and going to have 1 million views. Yeah. And your son's going to,
and will be associated with certain political views. Yeah.
There's a lot of funny people.
Son of a skinhead. Oh dear. Happy 169.
Booyaka 169. What does he mean?
I don't know. But hello, Metal Maniac. Lovely to have you. Lovely to have you. Alex asked, what's this about the Fox? Oh,
Alex, you'll have to go back and watch it. But it's at the start of the show. We have a nice Fox story.
Amazing. Right. That was hot potatoes. Thank you, Jimmy. Episode 169. Of course. 69
idiots.
gag. That's what it was. Should have known.
Of course it was.
Oh, that's poor that we didn't recognize that, Jim.
Our minds aren't in the gutter.
No. Have we had any new subscriptions?
Oh, let's have a little look.
I'm doing the competition at this point.
I will have a little look, seeing if we've got any new subscribers to see if we can do we've got 157.
No way.
And we started the show on 151.
Nice.
So yes, there has been some subscribers.
Wow. Well, guys, if you have subscribed and you want in on this competition, okay, if you want to win a copy of DC Justice League Cosmic Chaos on PS5, what is the safe word? We didn't have a safe word, did we?
I wasn't. No, you just have to tell us. You say, "Oh, I got someone to subscribe.
Okay.
Can I win?"
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. So we've got to type all that in the chat.
Well, yeah. I mean, some of the things that people put in here is nonsense anyway. It won't be that. John Simmons Scalmodder is trying to talk to you about your brother's old car. He's always trying to ambush the show, isn't he? Get your own show.
Probably is my answer to that.
Interesting comment from Showcode there. Just going back to the Gary Lineker story.
Oh, where's Showcode? I can't see it. Oh, it's a BBC Tory coup. Yes, probably is. Yeah, I think there's some behind the scenes shenanigans going on there with the BBC. It's like fucking North Korea, isn't it? Pyongyang.
I found out the other day around North Korea there's landmines. Did you know that?
Around the country?
Yeah, buried by the government, so you can't escape. Like you can't get out of North Korea now. There's landmines.
Is it landlocked then? I thought it was on. Surely it's a coast.
I don't know, but I watched a lady from North Korea talking about she escaped. She got out. Should we say this online?
I don't know.
There's landmines though. They're surrounding the place with landmines. They're like, you're not going anywhere, motherfucker.
Right. I need to know if you've got a subscriber to us. Just put DC Justice League in the chat, and I'll put you on the wheel to win a copy of this PS5 game.
Yeah. DC
Justice League. That's what you need to put in the chat.
Worth a lot of money. It doesn't matter if you haven't got a PS5. You might know someone who has, and you can gift it to them and pretend you've been nice.
Yep. Cheap early Christmas present, maybe. There's a lot, of course, supplied to us by the lovely people over at Outright Games. Thank you for that. And I'll be doing some streaming of the game as well at some point. So I've got a free copy myself. Yeah. So it's a lovely kid-friendly game. If you want to win a copy, it's out today. Just put DC Justice League in the chat, or SC Justive League, if you like.
Yeah. Well, so far, look, Lord Doolan. Okay. Lord Doolan's going on the wheel.
People doing this. I need to construct. Okay, let's get the wheel up, shall we? Let's do that.
I don't know if you have to put DC Justice League to say that you have got someone to subscribe or you've subscribed.
It's going wrong.
DC Justice Gang does not count. Lord Doolan.
Right, so okay, let's get some names populated, shall we, people? There we go. Here's the wheel. Right, so who are we putting in here? You will receive the game via an email from myself. So I will I don't know how I'll do that. I'll get in touch somehow.
Yeah.
For the means of, I don't know, something. Pigeon. Messenger pigeon. Right, so who's going in here? Lord Doolan's going in. The Lord is in.
And so far, that's it.
It's a competition.
If you haven't subscribed or got someone to subscribe, then you cannot enter the competition.
Who else we got? Anyone want a PlayStation 5 game? Come on, Metal Maniac. I know you've got a PlayStation 5 and you would love a copy of DC Justice
All
League.
you've got to do, Metal Maniac, is get a friend of yours to subscribe and tell us you've got them to subscribe.
Yep.
Text anyone. Doesn't matter.
Do we trust Alex Roth has got someone to subscribe?
No, he doesn't know anyone. I'm here. And the other person is John.
Oh, dear. It's looking good for the Lord so far.
There you go. Let's carry on, Stu.
Yep, let's carry on.
We'll
I'll leave that
this
on
later.
There and I'll give you 10 minutes. There you go. Get someone to subscribe and then chuck in DC Justice League in the chat and you can have a copy of the game. Well, being within a chance of winning a copy of the game.
Yeah, just get someone to subscribe because otherwise Lord Doolan's going to win it again and Lord Doolan's going to... He's going to be just the ultimate winner.
Right, Jimmy. I want to hear about this play that you went to. In fact, before we do that, let's do the sting. I've got to do the sting. So here we are. It's time for our weekend geek. So let's transition to that, shall we? If we can find the fucking sting.
Come on.
Here we go. It's time for the weekend geek. Let's get rid of the wheel for now because that just really at the moment.
We're getting there. It's slow and steady. It's a long show.
It is. Jimmy, this play. What the hell have you been up to? Far too cultural for this show.
Well, occasionally I still do keep my my toes dipped, don't I, into the theatre world.
Yes.
And a good friend of mine was he's not a friend of the show. I'm not going to say he's a friend of the show. Hopefully he'll come on one day, but he doesn't listen enough to be a friend. But my friend Robert Lonsdale is in a play at the National.
Very nice. Very swish.
Oh, yeah, it's big time. It's big time. It's called Standing at the Sky's Edge. Standing at the Sky's Edge. And it's a musical.
Oh, I do love a musical. As
yes,
we know.
But it was a different type of musical. It wasn't like a big sort of, do you hear the people singing the songs of it? It wasn't that. It was more like mood music. It was weird. The songs really...
They were singing, weren't they?
Yeah, they were singing, but it wasn't like a musical. It was... I find it hard to describe. It was more avant-garde than that. There wasn't like dance numbers. Dance was sort of like some people moving in the background doing the same thing to like quite down. Yeah, it was very much like Cats. No.
Did you go and see Cats?
I may have done, yeah. No, I can't even. Right, I'm going to go to the thing and see. Well, look, this is this description. A love letter to Sheffield and a history of modern Britain in the last 6 decades, set to the irresistible songs of Richard Hawley, winner of Best Musical Production at the UK Theatre Awards 2020 South Bank Sky Arts Award Theatre. So it was about 3 different families. I'll use that because one was a woman on her own. 3 different families living in this flat in Sheffield. In different time periods. So you had a family in the like the 70s during the early 80s when Thatcher closed like the steel mines and that sort of stuff.
I was going to say, is it like involving the steel industry?
Of course it is. It's up north. That's all they bang on about all the time, isn't it? So there was a family in that, a man, a woman, and a child. Yeah. My friend Robert played the dad, who was like a protester, on the picket line.
Scab.
No, he wasn't a scab. He was the opposite. And he grew a moustache and went crazy, like they all did once they closed the steel works. So there was that family. Then there was a family they had times, like dates coming up, so you knew when it was set all the way through, which was great. They had a family who came in from. Oh, Jesus Christ! This is not
WhatsApp.
They've got each other's phone numbers. There was a black family who moved in from. Where are they from? I can't remember now. But they had emigrated to England, so they moved into this flat in the 80s, late 80s, and then a lady, a white lady, 2015, lesbian, left her girlfriend and moved into this flat. So you had 3 different timelines going on at the same time. So at some points they're all in the flat. They're all in the flat. This is ridiculous. Can't we turn them off? 3 different timelines.
Keep going. You're doing well. You're doing well.
Right. So at some points they're all in there, like sat around the table eating dinner, talking to their partners, but none of them are in the same timeline. Does that make sense?
It does. That's quite an interesting concept.
Yeah, it was great.
And they can hear each other?
No, not ghosts. No, they can they're talking to each other, but it's just a way of showing these 3 stories all at the same time.
Right. Okay.
So like science fiction. And there was, the acting was amazing, the writing was amazing, the songs were brilliant, the singing was fantastic, the staging was great, and I'd recommend going to see it if you can. It may be sold out, to be honest, but I went with Le Gomme Chef.
So I saw.
I'll just mention the famous people that were there. My good friend Sam Swainsbury. Sam Swainsbury, who was in Thor 2, The Dark World. And he was in that wonderful sitcom I watched called Mum. And he's just in another sitcom at the moment, which is going to be on ITV. So that's going to be...
Don't look at the chat.
So he's going to be on the show. I went with a few people. It was just great to take in some theatre. You forget how good theatre can be.
Yeah, all right.
Don't you? You really do. When you actually go, you go, oh, this is great.
Even right, and granted, I don't do a lot of theatre, and when I do, it's mostly local stuff like the Ipswich region or whatever. But even that, there was just something special about it.
It's lovely theatre.
Watching like a panto with Paul Daniels doing his last performance and getting a magic trick wrong. Yeah, because he clearly got a really aggressive brain tumour happening. It's still magical.
It's still magic. Yeah. No, you're right. I think there's a lot of people out there, probably dads, who sort of go, oh, they're dragging me to the panto this year. And then hopefully they go and, like most people, realise how bloody good it is, how amazing it is. So, we slipped from the national to panto, but
it's the same level for me.
If I was going to say anything, I'd say, it's an absolute night out going to the theatre. Yeah, it's a real treat, and as a couple or as a family, it's worth doing. They're wonderful. There's nothing quite like a live performance.
No, quite agree. As we know by doing this every Friday night.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, anything can happen.
Thank you,
yes,
Jimmy.
That was on at the National. Standing at Sky's Edge.
Right, just to give you an update, to clarify, if you want to win a copy of DC Justice League Cosmic Chaos on PlayStation 5, get someone to subscribe to the channel and then put in the chat DC Justice League. Type the words DC Justice League, and then we'll get you in on the wheel to win. Simple as that.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited about the competition.
So far, Lord Doolin has a 100% chance of winning.
It'd be weird if you didn't win.
Yeah.
But yeah, get someone to subscribe.
Yeah, we'll draw that shortly. But if you want in, that's what you have to do. And thank you to anyone who has subscribed so far this evening. Happy days.
Yeah, we've got more subscribers. So some people have been subscribing. They just don't want to win.
Don't know. Yeah. Okay.
Stu, what have you been watching?
Hi, Jimmy. Yes, John. You can use your dad's account to subscribe. If you want the game, do that. We're not precious. We just want any old.
Just any subs.
To go up. Yeah. Do that. Yes, I've been watching, and this is purely because of your enthusiasm during the Rentrek episodes that you've been doing. Like, just the joy on your face when you were doing your watch-alongs of Picard season 3. I thought, obviously, I'm doing a lot of the kind of touching up and editing, and I'm feel like I'm on the journey with you. And I reckon a lot of the viewers watching those videos are feeling the same.
I've had some lovely comments from people in the Star Trek groups on Facebook. Saying really looking forward to seeing how you react, because quite often they've watched it before me.
Yeah.
And it takes me back. I used to watch a lot of people reacting to wrestling events, and I knew what was coming up. So I'd think, and then you're watching the reaction, you go, I'm looking forward to seeing what they think of that. And if you haven't got lots of close friends who like the same thing as you, it's easy to watch someone else reacting to it and enjoy it.
Very much so. Very much so. Well, that enthusiasm does seep through your videos, and it's got me to finally go back, but go and watch Picard from the beginning. I do have a little history with Star Trek. Growing up, we used to watch a bit of Next Generation and talk about it and all that.
You had the Klingon game.
I did. Yes, that was like Atmosphere.
Yeah.
But with the Klingon.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And they had the actor who played Gowron doing the character. But
really?
I don't think he played Gowron. I think he played a different Klingon, but he's unmistakable because he's like that.
Yeah.
He's got huge eyes.
I wonder if that's worth something these days. Don't.
Dig it out, Stu.
Dig it out. But so I do have an affinity somewhat to Star Trek, and particularly Next Generation. So I've got an in there already with Jean-Luc Picard. So I gave season 1 a go. I haven't finished it all, granted, but I'm about halfway through, and it's got some up and down bits. It's not amazing, but I don't know. I'm just enjoying being in that world and seeing what Jean-Luc or what does one of the characters call him? JL? JLD? No, JLP? JL. You did not like that? No. Okay. I didn't mind it.
Just a bit familiar. And okay. I'll tell you what it is, because we didn't know this character. And they're going, hey, JL, and you're like, you don't know him. Who are you? Where have you come from?
Yeah. I think that is a lot of my issue with it, is a lot of stuff they like referring to like massive incidents or characters. You think, oh, were they in like the Next Generation or the films?
Yeah.
They're not. They're just kind of just referred to off-screen events that happened between the film's ending and this series starting. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It feels like I'm missing out somewhat. If they were referring to stuff that I'd seen or had access to in a film or a TV series, I could go back and sample that and see what it was all about. But it just feels a bit weird that they're referencing stuff that we won't see. It's like we mentioned on Mandalorian. Like, did we get? And John might be able to answer this in the chat. I couldn't remember if we'd seen the Night of 1,000 Tears on the Clone Wars show. The destruction of Mandalore. I couldn't remember. I haven't watched that much into Clone Wars to know, but I always find it a bit weird when shows reference stuff that hasn't been on screen before, and a bit of a disconnect for me. But other than that, it's nice to see Patrick Stewart back in that role as Picard.
It's lovely to just see Patrick Stewart, isn't it?
It is, and he does it so well, and he is just that character, isn't he? And it's just little atmospheric touches, like just seeing people in the uniforms, and they don't do it all the time. So when you do get it, it's nice. They kind of hold it back, and then you get a little scene at Starfleet, and it's like, that's a little bit of nostalgia, and then you get like a musical sting from the Next Generation. You think, oh, that's another little dopamine drop for me.
Yes, little member berries.
Exactly, and it's nice. It's kind of cozy telly.
Interesting.
And I always found Next Generation cozy telly. Early evening 100%. On a Wednesday, I just huddled up and watching Star Trek. It's given me the same vibe, which is nice.
Yeah, I think it was early evening on a Wednesday because I remember one time I was getting ready for Cubs. No, Scouts. Cubs.
When you were in your 20s, yeah.
Yeah, when I really got into it, and I was getting ready, and I dipped my the sleeve of my jumper in ketchup and got really annoyed because I hated ketchup. Yeah. My jumper smelled like ketchup. But yes, Star Trek is like that for a lot of people. Like I'm heavily invested in the chats now on Facebook, the Star Trek group chats. One in particular, Star Trek Family. It's lovely. There's about 10,000 people in it. And there's some really deep chats on there. There's comments about, should Riker have done this or whatever? But there was something.
Is that true? Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't become friends there though. We just met each other.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's some quite deep chats about what Star Trek means to people and how they go, when I'm stressed, I put on Star Trek. Yeah, absolutely. It's a very relaxing thing. So I know what you mean. Being back in that world is nice. You'll start to get sick of the fact there's no uniforms, Stu, and you'll start to go, where are my uniforms? Where's Star Trek? This isn't Star Trek.
Okay.
But that's what happened. When they got Patrick Stewart back, he was in the writer's room. This was his demands to go back. I want to be in the room and all your clothes to fall off. I want to be in the room. And he said, I don't want it to be like Star Trek. I want him to be very different. And I think he said, I don't want anyone back. I'd like.
That's interesting to see where it is on that first series and see where it is now.
Not that he didn't want them back. Come back. I don't think he wanted it to be about them. I think he wanted new stuff to be happening. He didn't just want to be on the bridge again with the same.
Okay, didn't want to rehash. He wanted to come back. If he wanted to come back, he wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I don't know, worth it.
But now they've got to season 3 and realised that was fucking stupid. They shouldn't have listened. This is why you don't let actors in the writing room. Don't listen to Patrick Stewart. Do what people want, which is the whole fucking crew back. And that's why series 3 feels like it feels like a good film, like a good Star Trek film. So I'm glad you're enjoying it because there are bits that I did enjoy. I enjoyed all the stuff with Data in season 1. And that's it. No, and I enjoyed. I enjoyed some of the mystery.
I wonder if I'll find it more, or if I'll be more forgiving because I'm not as
100%.
As deep in the lore. I'm a law man, not like a marshal, but law, LORE.
No, I spoke to my brother-in-law the other week about it, and he was like, "Yeah, I thought it was good, yeah." And Emma went, my wife went, "Oh no, here he goes." And I just went into it. What did you enjoy about it? And started listing all the problems with it, but it is because of that ownership we feel we have over it, like Star Wars fans.
Oh, indeed. Yeah.
And where you go, that character wouldn't do that. And they're like, well, they're just characters on a screen. You go, but you feel like you know them so well and you understand them and you've had them for 7 seasons. And there's a lot of Star Trek, purists who don't like the films, the next gen films afterwards. They like Picard was this diplomat, wasn't he? It was about speeches and knowing right from wrong. And then you get to First Contact, which I love. And he's running around like Bruce Willis in a vest with a blaster and machine gunning down a Borg. Yeah, which I loved because I was like, yes, go Picard. But some of the more purist fans, even more purist than me, don't like that.
It's just aggressive negotiations. If Star Wars taught us anything, isn't it? Negotiations with a blaster.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Another fabulous quote by my favourite actress, Natalie Portman.
Oh,
it's all going kicking off in the chat. I'm telling you, Rock's joined us. Hello, Rock. If you just joined us, Rock, we were just talking about my experience with Picard Series 1. I know you're a Picard fan and you're struggling to get through Series 3 yourself, but I'm enjoying it as Series 1, that is. Yeah, enjoying it.
Just to comment on Rock's comment. What's he doing? Has he got it in my head? He's got us on his TV in his bedroom, and he's laying on his back like a teenage girl from an American film with his head hanging over the back of the bed, watching us. And he's gone, oh my God, Jimmy looks like Rolf Harris, which people have commented on in the past.
Which is snowballed. Snowballed. I'm enjoying Picard. Rock, if you have joined us, I know you probably got a code yourself, but if you do want in on the competition to win DC Justice League Cosmic Chaos, what we're saying is get if you can get someone to subscribe and then put in the chat the words DC Justice League. That was it, wasn't it? DC Justice League. You can be in on the wheel to win. We've got one entrant so far. One entrant. Lord Doolan is. We're going to have to close this off at some point. Perhaps we do it right at the end of the show.
Yes, keep it going. Okay. We could do it with more than Lord Doolan, couldn't we?
Yep.
Right. Let's get on to something fun, Stu.
Yeah, fun.
Mystic Meg.
Mystic Meg. Yeah, she's dead.
Next.
The amount of comments, replies to these stories that said, I bet she didn't see that one coming.
Well, that's the obvious. I made that to myself, that joke.
Yeah. Okay, you did it internally. I went out and said it to Amanda, which got a cracking reaction, I have to say. So I felt great by using a really easy gag that I'd nicked from someone.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. How old was she?
80, I believe. Yeah. Mystic Meg, gone but not forgotten. You've put in the chat. I had ironically forgotten about her until this moment. It was announced she passed away.
Yeah, but if someone said Mystic Meg, like you remember her instantly, she was for someone who just made up lies. She was well known, wasn't she? Christ, she was well known. What TV did a TV show have her on? Because it was Russell Grant was like the first big liar. Con man.
Not? I'm sure they got her on the lottery. Did they not get her on the national lottery?
Did have her on the lottery? Yes.
Was she predicting the numbers?
Yes, I think she was.
23, 17, 69.
I don't know if she predicted numbers. I think she was more like who could win it.
Yeah.
I'm picturing a gammon in the north. She had a weird voice, didn't she?
She did. God rest her soul, of course. I'm pretty sure I read she was 80, but I can't now find it in this story. But we'll say 80. Oh yeah,
raise a glass.
She died aged 80. Cheers.
Cheers. And just Rock in the comments has put Robert Blake died today at 89.
Robert Blake. Who's
no idea who he was anyway.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Who's Robert Blake?
Jimmy's on it.
He's an actor.
We'll find out.
Died today.
Robert Blake. Don't know. He sounds like he was in Blake 7.
A lot of shit. Just a lot of shit.
My Alexa just went off.
Was that Alexa again? Didn't she go off the other week as well?
Did.
Yeah, they're listening.
It was Blake's 7.
Blake's, something like that.
Well,
he was best known for Beretta, in Cold Blood. You know these films? No. Man, hang on, he stopped acting in 97. F him. It's not Mystic Meg. She's our story. Right. What else you got?
I have also got. It's Mario Day today. Happy Mario Day, everyone. March 10th. It's a publicity stunt. Obviously, it's
I've never heard of this before.
MAR10 Mario Day. I think this was just something that spread on Twitter for a few years, and then Nintendo thought this is a cracking marketing opportunity. Let's do this.
Right.
So yeah, it's Mario Day, and there's usually some kind of Nintendo-based announcements on this day, and
That's clever.
Lego have come out and announced.
You got some Lego news. Good stuff.
Lego
Don't
news.
Lego news. Yeah, you love your Lego news. We can share this on the Lego groups.
Big
Get some subs.
bit of Lego news. Let's just there we go. Let's just tweak that. Right. So this is some sets announced as part of Mario Day 2023, March 10th.
That's clever.
Donkey Kong Lego. Look at this. Obviously, the Mario Lego sets are fantastic. Like, they're not minifigures as such. They're kind of medium-sized figures. They're not your large Lego buildable action figures. It's about 3 inches tall. It's a little scanner on the bottom, and you create like land pieces, like with little barcodes etched on certain sections, like water or platforms or enemies. And then you take your little Mario character and run him across the course, and it's like playing a level of Mario, but you can build it and customize it however you so wish. It's great.
That's
great
cool.
fun.
So it's a bit more interactive than
very much so.
Lego.
Yeah. Very, very interactive, very playable, very customizable. Very expensive, being Lego.
Oh, Stu, can you give me 1 minute?
Of course, I'll carry on about this. So they've announced today that there's a Donkey Kong accessory for the Mario figure. So it looks like you can attach the Mario atop the Donkey Kong, as we have here. Whether the Donkey Kong has a scanner at the bottom, I'm not sure, and can interact with the other pieces. I imagine he probably will. But yeah, that's a cool looking design of a minifig. So that's pretty nice. And they also announced the Dry Bowser Castle. So this is another. They do these bigger sets that you can. They're almost like boss levels. So they're larger sets. I think they do one for the Bowser gunship. They do Bowser's Castle. You know, those traditional end of level Mario kind of moments. This is Dry Bowser, who is Bowser but a skeleton. So this is a larger set that you can use, interact with the Mario, Luigi, and Peach figures as well. So that's a new set. Friend of the show, Renaissance Man alumni, Midian is quite excited to get this, I have to say.
Lovely.
So that looks a nice set. So that was also announced today. You can see on this picture here, look, the little pads that you scan, just there on the red piece there on the flagpole. Your enemies will have them atop their heads as well, so the Mario can just scan over them and interacts. And because I think you can do like score runs, like you'll scan the beginning of your level, scan certain moments like enemies or coin blocks or whatever, and then scan the flagpole. And then you can like compete with other people. Like it will save your score, and then someone else can get the figure and do the same thing. So it's a really cool interactive piece of Lego. It's really nice.
That's nice. They're mixing it up.
Yeah, I think that was probably it. Yeah, there we go. So, but this is more Lego news. The Indiana Jones sets. That I don't know if we spoke about these several weeks ago, but
I don't think we did.
There's 2 or 3 indie sets that are coming out. Obviously, we've got the new Indie 5 coming out. And that's kind of spurred Lego on to get some indie sets out, because we haven't had Indiana Jones sets for a while. And this, I think they've cancelled the Temple of Doom one, strangely. I don't know why that is. There was meant to be a Temple of Doom set coming with a little Minecraft section and like a large kind of like sacrificial plinth, you know, where they rip the guy's heart out and all that.
Oh, I love that. With a guy holding like just a red heart.
A little red one by one piece.
Yeah.
It would be cool. But they've cancelled that for some reason. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's, I don't know.
Cultural insensitivity or something.
Yeah, that's what I wonder. That's what I wonder. But regardless, that's not coming. But we are getting this this lovely what's the first scene from Raiders? I don't know what that is called. Don't know what that.
Oh,
what
I
would
don't
you
know.
call it?
But where he gets rolled,
Like the
where a
idol,
ball
idol
rolls at him.
temple or something. Yeah, you know, when he takes the idol off and blah blah blah. There's the ball, obviously, that chases Indy. So that's a really nice set. The one I think I will probably get, not this one. This is also a nice little set. No Nazi iconography on there though. They are kind of just
Again,
generic soldiers.
Political correctness gone mad.
Yep. German soldiers, I reckon they're just called. This is the set I want, because I think that's if you're going price to piece comparison, I think this is a nice kind of medium ground. I don't like to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on my Lego, but
no,
I like an impact for my. I want, as you know,
bang for your
like
buck.
my money's worth. Yeah, bang for my buck. I want my money's worth. Happy days. But this is from Raiders. It's where the Ark of the Covenant is stored. You know, asps, very dangerous. You go first. All that. I think this is the first time we get a little Salah minifigure.
Nice.
On the left. Get Marion and a mummy. I don't remember there being a mummy in this scene.
No, me neither.
No, but
maybe it's like a body or something.
Yeah,
maybe there is a body.
Get an indie as well. So some nice little sets.
Some good stuff coming out there. Just a good few comments in the comment section, Stu.
I'm so sorry, I've neglected the comments this evening.
That's okay. Right? The only one that's relevant to the Lego was John, similar scale modeler, says, "Looks ace. That set. My boy would love that. Will love that." Suggesting he's going to get it. Will.
Nice. Which one was John referring to? John, which one were you on about?
And also, we've had some more subscribers. So The Rock has got us 2 subscribers, so he's got to be added to the.
Cheers, Rock. Well, Rock has got a code. Rock, if you want me to add you, I will more than add you. If you want a copy of the game.
Neil subscribed.
Thank you, Neil. Neil, do you know what? Neil's going on there. Neil J, you can go on the wheel to win.
John Simmons is saying to people, "Are you subscribed to my channel though?" So because
he's got enough.
That's the real question.
He's got plenty.
He's peddling his own wares in our comment section.
Neil J, you're in there. 50-50 chance at the moment. Rock, if you want in, do say, and I'll put you on the wheel. The wheel to win.
John Simmons said, "I didn't realize they were releasing original indie sets."
Yeah, I suspect we'll get some for the new film as well. I don't know. I haven't heard any leaks or rumors or anything, but okay, I won't add you, Rock. Add Benji. Okay, no, that's a lovely idea.
Well, there you go. He's done it.
There we go.
If anyone wants to get a subscriber for my children,
well, okay.
I can't win this competition.
But I can't put 100 names on there, can I?
Good point. You could just put the Saint family. Imagine
if you won. Corruption gone mad. It's like the BBC.
We couldn't have it. There you go. Keep them coming. Keep the subscribers coming.
Please do. We'll do that at the end of the show. We'll spin the wheel as a grand finale.
We're now on 359 subscribers.
That is amazing. Thank you so much. That's 8 we've gained. That's 8.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Some lovely Lego stuff there, Stu. I'd like that. I'd like you to take that out of the show and put that on those Lego groups because
okay, we'll do.
They'll watch that and they'll think we do competitions every week.
Nice. I like it. I like your thinking. I do have a couple of short videos to prep for. I do have the new Lego Star Wars and Marvel magazines for me and Benj to record. So that'll be nice. Look out for those on the shorts and on TikTok, as we are TikTokers now.
Stu, can I request something?
Go on.
Oh, sorry. Was you going to say one last thing?
I was just going to say we may also be doing some dancing at some point. I guess that's the thing, isn't it, that TikTokers do?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. TikTok and get your cleavage out. That's what I get a lot of. I was going to request something off of the notes because this is something that I didn't know about.
Okay.
We discussed it on on our WhatsApp group during the week.
Yes.
My wife was trying to get us to see Eurovision in Liverpool.
Yes.
We was unsuccessful.
Okay.
My wife went in at the appropriate time. It said you're 2,000 plus in the queue, and it was like trying to get a appointment at our local doctor. And eventually she got kicked out, and that was us. So we'll do our own thing. We should do it. Thank you.
A bit of a delay. Sorry.
We should do
Sorry.
We should do a live watch along of Eurovision.
Oh,
But
amazing, yeah.
I understand from you, Stu. I didn't know this. I didn't know this because I saw the notes. Our entry has been announced.
It has, yeah. As of Thursday night evening, I think.
Can we
I think it
show it?
leaked.
Can we see?
Can
we
I?
react to it?
We didn't know. So I know Renaissance Man alumni said and never used to like to watch the UK entrant before the show. He liked to just experience it on the night. And I didn't know how you felt. I mean,
No, I'll watch it.
watch it. Okay, I'll key up.
Yeah,
it's,
but maybe is it on BBC?
yes.
Maybe we should pause it every 10 seconds so we don't get copywritten like we do every flipping week.
I'll tell you what. Let's see if I can find another. Well, no, actually, no. It's not. It's off her. I'm sure it's just like her YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah, but that'll be fine then.
I
Rock
think.
and roll. Bring it up, Stu. Because if people out there who don't know, me and Stu are big Eurovision fans. I've been a big Eurovision fan since being with my wife. And every year we watch it together. We have a right old laugh. Last year I missed it live, and I was furious because it was such a brilliant show last year, wasn't it? And we virtually won, didn't we? UK, we virtually won.
Mm-hmm.
So this is it, Stu, is it?
It is. Beg your pardon. It's off the actual Eurovision YouTube channel. So I'm sure the Europeans are such loving, caring people that they won't. Surely they won't copyright strike us. But it doesn't matter because I'm like a modern day Perry Mason. I seem to be able to just bat off these copyright strikes left, right, and centre.
You beat Viacom last week, didn't you?
I did. Yep. Beat Viacom. I beat the BBC. I beat Vince McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it on, I say. Bring it on. Just claim fair use. They tend to go away. It's fine.
Yeah. But here we go. So who is this, Stu?
What is her name? Her name is May Muller. Now, she was the little girl who appeared in the Mika video for Grace Kelly? It's Grace Kelly. That's the
All right, good song, yeah.
Yeah, so she was in the video for this and obviously went into transitioned into a musical career. She is well known and well regarded, I believe. She's supported Little Mix, so that says a lot to me.
So, we could support Little Mix.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, so I think she's got some, I mean, she can sing well. She looks nice. She sings well, and it's okay. It's not, I don't think it's brilliant, but we'll see what your opinion is. Alex Roth there says it's awful.
Well, we don't need to win it again because, no,
just taking
we're hosting.
Yeah. Okay, so here we are. Rock apparently he was too late as well, grabbing his tickets. They were. They were hot potatoes, weren't they?
Friends of the show, Midian and Midge, they were both in as well. They got and Carl Meyer, who listens to the show, he was booted out as well.
Yeah. If you know anyone who's going to Eurovision, let us know. Let's roll. Right, here we go. This is the UK entry. This song is what would happen if you asked Chat GPT to write a Eurovision song. That's a good point. Yeah. I'm still trying to find ways of utilizing Chat GPT within the podcast. I'm sure there's a segment there.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Gotta be. Yeah. So people in the chat not keen. I don't know.
We're not digging it.
Not digging it. Well, 2 months to go for it to. I don't know. Can it improve? I think that's it.
The songs get better, unless everyone else gets food poisoning the night before. We ain't got a dog in hell's chance of winning that.
But we've been accustomed to that for many a year now, haven't we? So I think it's all about just enjoying the evening and experiencing the European culture. Yeah, the bizarreness of European culture.
After last year, I'm happy. I don't care if we win. I'm just looking forward to the night. I think we're going to have some friends round, not any of the people in the chat, and get some drinks in, get some foreign food, some foreign, some Spanish sausage, some Greek tzatziki.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Happy days. It's a glorious evening's entertainment, I have to say. I do enjoy it. And roll on May. Roll on May.
Lovely.
Right. Where are we? Where the hell are we in the notes?
Stu, have a look at the notes and just when you have a look, and I'll just say, good comment from Alex there in the chat. Should have got the Spice Girls back together.
Mm-hmm.
That would have won.
I actually want to briefly talk about the Resident Evil 4 demo that came out today, I believe, on PS5. Regular listeners of the show may know, may not know that Resident Evil 4 is my favorite game of all time. Absolutely loved that as a game on the GameCube. Played it many times on the GameCube, and then in various re-releases on PlayStation 3, 4, whatever. They've remade it. Capcom are remaking the game. They're giving it the same treatment that they gave like Resident Evil 2 and 3 recently.
I was going to ask you that. Weren't they remaking the Resident Evil games recently? And it's just beat for beat the same game, just upgraded graphics, sound, quality.
They do tweak the parts of the storyline and such. They do modernize it somewhat.
Right.
I think in Resident Evil 4, the latest one they're doing, they've taken away they've refined some of the levels and maybe the pacing of the game, and they've removed all of the quick time events that you had to do, like hammering your A button to run away from a boulder, all that kind of business. The stuff that you don't really get in games these days. It's more it's refined. Let's say that it's refined. Play the demo. It's about 15 or so minutes. It's very Resident Evil 4. What more can I say? It's very familiar, but very different at the same time. I know that sounds bizarre and an oxymoron, but it really does. The muscle memory is still there. You're playing it, and the buttons still work as you would expect them to. It feels the same. It's silky smooth, and you've got the kind of overhead gun sights, and it just feels like Resident Evil 4 always felt, and that's amazing. I love it. That's what I love about that game. It's just so, I don't know, sumptuous to play. I just love it.
It's lovely.
But on the other hand, they have tweaked certain bits of that opening that I know so well. Where you go into that first little shack and you're met by the first. I always see them as like Spaniards. I think he's in some kind of variation of Spain, and
okay,
they sound Spanish, and and they've all got like some kind of infection. I forget what it's called now.
Spanish flu.
Yeah, probably. But anyway, that's a very iconic scene and a bit of gameplay, and it just feels the same, and it's so familiar but modernized, and it looks amazing, and I can't wait to play that game. It's out very soon, end of next month or this month, I think. So yeah, it's on. I think it's on both Xbox and PlayStation. Go check it out. It's a download that you can go and just try out. 15 minutes of Resident Evil 4. It's fantastic. Go try it. That's all I can say, really.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So talking about muscle memory with gaming, I put on a wrestling game for one of my sons the other day. I think it was 2016, the one with John Cena on the front, the Xbox 360. Because long story, but I put it on for him, and he was like, "What buttons hit? What buttons punch?" Or I went, "Mate, I've got no idea. Just bash things." And he was trying to do it, and he was sort of getting some stuff, and I was like, "Oh!" And he went off and went, "Let me have a quick go." I was like, "What is it again?"
It all came back,
and I was doing it, reversals, big suit, everything, running it. If you would have said, "What does that button do?" I was like, "I don't know." But then when I had to run, I'd press it. I was like, I want to run. That's the one that press. I want to punch. That's the one. I want to pin. It was really weird. I felt like
ingrained in your
Rain
DNA,
Man or
Jimmy.
something.
Yeah, just recalling. Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. John Simmons hasn't played a video game for 10 years.
Isn't that mad? Because me and John were big gamers when we were young.
Not even like not even Fallen Order. Surely you played the big Star Wars ones.
No, wow. He hasn't done very well in his career, so he can't afford the games. It's sad.
You'd think that someone of John's skill would supply John with like the latest Star Wars goodies. That's what I would hope.
That's true. He was a bloody good gamer. He was wonderful at Guitar Hero.
Was he? Oh, I bet.
He got very good. He's very good with his hands, isn't he?
Yes. Sorry, you were going to say?
I can't remember.
Okay,
moving on. What was we talking about? Games?
Yeah, you.
I just said me and John used to play a lot of video games, but when you have
If he puts in DC Justice League in the chat,
that's what I was going to say. If he gets Laura to subscribe and he puts DC Justice, he can win a bloody game.
Okay, yeah. Currently, you've got 1 in 3 chance. Well, 1 in 4 if that's the maths, isn't it? I don't know. The wheel to win is looking. A third of that wheel is me, basically. So come on,
get someone to subscribe.
Yep. Done Eurovision. Mystic Mech's dead. Married Day we've done. I think we're pretty much there. Do you want to talk about Chris Rock? You put Chris Rock in the notes.
Yeah, well, Chris Rock. This is a hot potato as well as being something I've watched. Chris Rock has got a new stand-up show out. It's on Netflix. He's very good, Chris Rock. This is okay. Made me laugh quite a few times. But the biggest thing that came out about it, which a lot of YouTubers are commenting on, trying to get subscribers like us, is he's talked about the Will Smith slap. Right. And he hasn't spoken about it, in all this time.
Very quiet, wasn't he? He's almost like quite reserved and dignified about it.
And it must be like nearly a year ago. It was a long flipping time ago now. But he makes references to the show. He talks about Snoop Dogg, and he's like, "Hey, don't get me wrong, I like Snoop Dogg. I don't need another rapper angry at me." And then he talks about Kanye, I think, later. He's like, "Hey, I love Kanye. I don't want another rapper mad about me." And then at the end, he's like, "So Will Smith," goes into this tirade. A lot of emotion comes out. He says, the first thing, I'm not going to go on any of these shows, these fucking shows, and play the victim. I'm not going to go on The View and talk about it and I'm the victim or anything. He was like, but big question is like, people say, did it hurt? And he's like, it still hurts now. He's going, he is a bitch. He just keeps calling him a bitch, saying, everyone was taking the piss out of him because his wife was banging his son's mate. Yeah. He's going, everyone was taking the piss because his wife was banging his son's mate. And I make one G.I. Jane joke, and I'm the one who is a man he knows he can beat the shit out of. I'm half his size and I'm the one he hits. He's like, but I took that hit like Pacquiao, but then he just starts calling him a bitch and just going. Really? And he said his wife, Jada, a while back said Chris Rock shouldn't host the Oscars out of respect because Will wasn't nominated for an Oscar for the film Concussion. And then her husband goes and gives me a fucking concussion live on stage.
Good. That's a good line.
He's like, so she started it. She started it saying a grown man shouldn't go and do his job. And I just made a joke. And everyone who knows me knows I'm not involved in that. And then he just keeps calling him a bitch. He's like, I used to really like Will Smith. He's like, and there's a lot of it's interesting, a lot of emotion.
Do you think he's being sincere or is he doing it? I don't know. So part of it stinks to me. It's a little bit iffy, the fact he's saying all this on a Netflix special that he's probably getting paid a lot of money to do.
I think he got 40 million or something crazy. Wow. 100%. But he obviously knew he had to talk about it at some point. So he's held out. He said he says, I didn't want to play the victim and go on his shows going and talk about what's right and wrong. And, he just does this. It's only the last bit of the show as well. The rest of the show is, he hints, but then it's right at the end when he does this last bit and he finishes it. He looks great as well. But he finishes it by saying, what does he say? Some people have taken the piss out of me or something, but the reason why I haven't struck anyone is because I was raised by good parents or something like that. I'm raised by a good mum and dad. And there's one thing that they taught me, and that was not to attack a black man in front of white people. And then he throws his mic on and does like a big mic drop. He's built up to it, so I don't do it justice. And then he's just like, everyone's like, yeah, good stuff. Because he had to talk about it at some point. And of course, if you're a comedian, you make use of your stories. And that was the biggest story. And he's waiting a while.
I don't blame him for, you maybe using that as collateral to get a good deal from Netflix or, however that went down. I found Amanda watching this in the bath the other day. What? You're like the least Chris Rock watching person I know.
You just walk past and you hear the N-word blasting out because he uses it a lot.
Well, it's funny. I was trying to watch. I think I was trying to watch, ironically, Bakugan with Benji on Netflix,
Right.
and I couldn't because we've got our account level is such that if I'm watching something, no one else. If someone's watching it, I can't watch it.
God, you're cheap.
I know. Got to save those dollars, mate.
Yep.
But I thought it came up, said you can't watch Bakugan because someone's watching Chris Rock. Who the hell is that? I thought I'd been hacked personally, but it was Amanda.
No one in my family would watch Chris Rock.
Well, quite. But just Amanda relaxing in the tub with some.
I bet she was
with Chris Rock. Yeah.
She a fan of his comedy or just fan of a sexy
know.
older man?
Very strange set of circumstances, but aside from
the bath,
Benj then came in and she had to turn it off, obviously. So
right.
yeah, it was I'm not sure how far in she got. I neglected to ask her, sadly. But did you enjoy it?
That's 6 inches. Yes. No, he's great. He's great. Like, it wasn't the best stand-up I've ever seen, but I mean, he's he's a funny fucking guy. You can't, his delivery's brilliant as well. His the way his use of words, like, it sounds, I know it has been rehearsed because he's obviously done it loads of times already. But his delivery of stuff is so articulate, and the timing and just the words he uses and the way he punches things out, there's a lot of emotion and strength to it. Yeah, it was great. Very funny. Definitely worth a watch. And
I'll give it a go.
Talked about the Will Smith stuff.
I have watched his earlier stuff, his stuff from like the early 2000s.
I don't know that.
What's going on?
Don't know. I should shut her up, really, shouldn't I? Let me mute her. But yeah, I watched a lot of his earlier stand-up routines, and a lot of those are iconic, aren't they? But so I probably will go back and watch this. So yeah,
it's definitely worth a look.
Stand-up show.
He Alex Roth in the chat says right before the Oscars as well. So yeah, that is interesting. Do we know who's hosting the Oscars this year?
I don't.
Be interesting, wouldn't it? Because it will be a political choice. Yeah,
I'll Google it. I'll Google it. So Oscars host, probably someone really safe, isn't it? Do you reckon?
I think it'll be a lady.
Safe pair of hands.
A white lady is my prediction.
Jimmy Kimmel. So there we go.
Yeah, a white lady.
Yes.
Hang on, didn't Jimmy Kimmel do blackface? Was that Fallon?
No, it was Kimmel. Yeah, I was reading. Funny enough, I was reading about that the other day. He had to come out and apologise for an earlier sketch he'd done where he blacked up.
Yeah, so he was on. I think he was on SNL. But he didn't. Was that Kimmel? Was it Kimmel? I think he played Charles Barkley. Was it Fallon?
It was definitely Kimmel that blacked up for to be a basketball player. Yeah, because I literally read that the other day.
Was it Shaq?
I don't know.
But I mean, for me, if you're doing an impression, it's fine.
Go big or go home.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Kimmel. And now they've got him taken over from Chris Rock. Oh, I'd make some jokes about that. Not me, obviously.
There we go. I think that's everything from the Weekend Geek. Everything that I kind of want to mention. You had do we want to do the Penguin TV show?
Well, I just didn't know there was one coming.
Oh, did you not? Oh, I'm sure.
No, and then I just saw released photos of Colin Farrell on set as the Penguin for the new spin-off. I was like, God, I hope this isn't going to be as long as the Batman film was. I fell asleep through.
I've forgotten you'd fallen asleep in that.
Yeah, I still haven't watched it all.
No.
Yeah, I think Alex may have drugged me, actually. It was.
There is that episode of Columbo where William Shatner drugs his gopher, not his animal gopher, his assistant, male assistant. Right. And he changes.
Sounds like something Shatner would do.
He winds the guy's watch forwards a couple of hours. He tapes a baseball game and then just reruns the last 2 hours. So it appears like the guy's just fallen asleep for 5 minutes, but really Shatner's been out there murdering.
Brilliant. That's a great way to have an alibi.
So simple.
Yeah.
So simple.
Surely when the guy left, though, he looked at a clock. Hey-o.
But there we go. So new Penguin TV show coming. That's the upshot of that news.
Yep.
I think that's it. So, on which point, let's just give a reminder to people, if you did not know, please, if you want to be in with a chance of winning DC's Justice League Cosmic Chaos on PlayStation 5 from our good friends at Outright Games, just get someone to subscribe. If you've done that task, tell us in the chat by saying DC Justice League, and I'll put you on the wheel to win. If you've got little kids who are into the superheroes, it's a lovely little game, I assume, to play on PlayStation 5. I haven't played it myself, so I don't know if it's any good. But if you want a chance of winning that for your little Batmen or Wonder Women, then please just put in the chat DC Justice League, and we'll sort you out. Get you on the wheel to win.
In the chat, what we have got so far is, Jim, can you sing that song we sung together today, please? Wind your body. That one. It's the boom shakalaka. That one
from
Apache Indian.
Yeah.
Me and
from
John
Dumb and Dumber.
We stood at the school gate singing that today. Not a protest, just doing it. And Alex Roth in the chat says Joker was awful.
No.
Yeah, he didn't like it. And this is from the man who goes, says it was all right to loads of junk. He goes, it was fine. But the Joker was awful.
Going back to set photos, there were some set photos of
Joker 2.
Yeah, Joker 2. Joaquin in Joker 2, looking very Joker-like. So he actually gets out of his mental hospital at some point.
Yeah.
I think I also saw what I think was Lady Gaga with face makeup on as well.
Oh, really?
Wasn't impressed with that, but this is an interesting comment from John. Joker was in my top 59 films, very specific, but I can never watch it again.
I know what you mean.
I haven't watched
it again, but I'd certainly put it in my top 59 films.
Yeah, me too.
I've wanted to watch it again. It's like Schindler's List for me. I've never seen Schindler's List, but I don't know when to watch it. At what point,
right mood?
Yes, exactly. What day? What time? What do I need to be eaten? Have I had a good day or a bad day? When am I going to enjoy Schindler's List?
I don't think it's not a film you enjoy, is it? I don't think it's
why would I watch
one you
it?
Endure.
It's the same with the Joker, even though Joker was quite very. I'm sure there's more jokes in the Joker than there was in Schindler's List. But what's the time for me to watch it? It's like The Godfather,
I think a late 10 o'clock on a Saturday night, I think, is a perfect time to watch a Scorsese film or the Joker or something with a bit of
I agree with that.
Meat to the bones.
I'd probably be more likely to watch the Joker if it came on terrestrial TV when I was watching. That's what would happen with Goodfellas or whatever. You go, I better go up to bed. In the good old days when you watch TV and you go, oh Christ, Goodfellas on. Well, I'll just watch this scene because I like it, and then
you're in until the first advert break if it's on ITV.
Yeah.
Speaking of films, it's time for us to react to the latest trailers. Or latest trailer, I should say. So
I forgot we hadn't done that yet.
Yeah, let's do hot takes.
Go for it, dude.
Bit. Yeah, let's do it. Welcome to Hot Takes, that part of the show where we react to the latest cinematic trailers. And this week, Jimmy, I'm bringing to you Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
I've heard about this. Well, I heard about the casting, which I was...
Lots of buzz about the casting coming around, and then the trailer then released on like the peak of that hype. John Cena's in it.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan is in it as Splinter.
Of course he is. I could have said that.
Who else is in it? I think Seth Rogen is producing it.
Seth Rogen is Bebop.
Is he in it? Okay.
He's John Cena is Rocksteady.
Yeah. I'm not sure who else is in it, but anyway,
Giancarlo Esposito, is that his name?
Yes.
Gus from Breaking Bad. He's Baxter Stockman, the Fly.
Yes. Amazing. I mean, it's an animated feature, and it's rebooting the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise again. In several attempts to reboot this and try and make it marketable to today's youth. And that is quite key in this trailer because I've seen it, and yeah, they do. Well, you'll see. They're certainly targeting a certain demographic, I think.
Wow, that's interesting.
Rightly or wrongly, but I think it looks great.
Old
Spoilers.
people.
Yeah. The geriatric ninja fan. So let me. Are you a Turtles fan, Jimmy? Like, I think we all were in the.
Who's
90s,
not
weren't we?
born of the 80s? You've got to like the Turtles. At some point, I even actually watched the sequel Michael Bay film. I think last year I spoke about it on the show, and really enjoyed it. You know, it was long like Bay with lots of explosions, but not like Bay's other movies.
Bay's long explosion. I'd rather
actually,
not
was the second one Michael Bay? It might not have been. The first one was, but the second one might have been someone else.
Both though, weren't they?
Can't remember.
Sure.
But the Turtles looked amazing. As far as CGI characters go, they looked absolutely... And they had Bebop and Rocksteady in that, which was, I think, the first time I've seen them in live action, because I was always annoyed they weren't in the original films.
One of them played by Sheamus, another wrestler.
Yes, he did a bloody
strange
good job.
lineage there from Cena to Sheamus, both playing similar characters, if not the same character. Okay.
I think Sheamus was a Bebop.
Was he? So this is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem trailer. Just get straight into it. Yes, let's do it. Let's react. Let me turn it up a little bit. Let's go for it.
Let's do this thing. They've got the
sting the thing.
Lob it up.
Stay still. Stay still.
Now. Oh! Let's try that again, but with ninja stars.
Hey, why did we pick a fruit shaped exactly like my head?
Just stop talking. You're ruining my concentration.
You're fine. Chill. He's gonna die.
Wait, did you hear that? What was that?
Well, nothing we can do. You guys want to grab pizza?
Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Can I kick it? What the heck are those things? They look like little Shreks to me. Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Oh, we've prepared our whole lives for this. Can I kick it?
Oh my! I'm gonna be sick.
Leo, what happened? Is Donnie bleeding?
It was an accident.
Mikey, watch out!
So you were baby turtles who made contact with mystery goo.
Well, we prefer the term ooze, but yeah.
It's like more like it's just nicer.
It rolls off the tongue better, yeah.
Ooze. It's nice, right? It's ooze.
Cast.
Stu.
Yeah.
Have they race changed April O'Neil?
Yes. But is that an issue?
Have they gender changed Donatello?
No, I don't think so. No, they're all
Sounded like
boys.
sounded like a girl, Donatello.
Did they? I didn't notice that, I must admit. But I thought it looked good.
I'm
I thought it looked all right. Very
changing of characters that does it weirds me out. I don't know. I know that a lot of people of color don't like it either. They say make original characters of color, not just race changing people.
When I alluded to like targeting it towards a certain audience, it was more the fact they look very young depictions of turtles, didn't they? You know, and I wondered, are they trying to target a younger audience and trying to get them into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? You know, because that's who you want into it, isn't it? Is young kids, the ones who buy all the merch.
I think that's going to bomb.
Do you think so?
Yeah. At first, I thought, oh, it looked a bit like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and then
Very
it carried on.
stylistically, very much so, isn't it? Yeah.
And then it carried on. I was like, oh, it's nowhere near as beautiful or as lovely as that. Because that's an amazing film, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
I mean, comments in the comment section. Alex Roth says best film is School of Rock. John Simmons says grab a pizza and watch The List. That's Schindler's List he's referring to. John Simmons looks shit. And Alex Roth, Americanized anime bollocks like every animated film at the moment.
I've watched the Spider-Verse, a great number 54. Yeah. Straight in there at 54. 54's best film.
59 best. No, it is, isn't it? Spider-Verse is an amazing film.
Oh, it is. And the comments are right. There does seem to be, ever since that came out, is like a real kind of drive for that same style of animation. We got it with that wonderful Netflix film that I can't remember the name of, Mitchells versus the Machines.
Oh yes,
I think that was produced by a lot of the same. I think they had the same production team as Into the Spider-Verse. Forgive me if I'm incorrect.
No, I think you're right.
But this does look like it's also trying to kind of ape, if you like, that style. I don't know. I thought it looked okay. I mean, we've had a lot of shit Ninja Turtles films as of in the recent history that look at the very least looked promising to me. Looked promising.
Did it? Well, maybe we should watch it, Stu, and bring it to the table. But
I could be completely wrong. It could be absolute horseshit, but who knows? It looked all right.
There was just nothing in there that dragged me in. Nothing. I don't think anything made me laugh. I think I didn't like the animation. I mean, April O'Neil, I don't know what I was they've not only race changed her, they've waist changed her as well. And you know, if I may be wrong, but the redheads won't be happy.
No, the redhead demographic.
They weren't with Little Mermaid. They were furious, and they get angry, the redheads.
The militant wing of the redhead faction. Yeah, I get you. I think a lot of I'm pretty sure the recent TV shows certainly made April younger. Traditionally she'd been a lot older than the Turtles, hasn't she? She'd been almost like a mother figure to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly in the recent cartoon series that they've almost made her a contemporary, of their age, and someone they can, I don't know, go through this transition through teenagehood together. But it looks like they're kind of sticking with that. I assume she's writing for a school paper or something. That's probably how they'll get around that.
Yeah, this is getting worse.
Yeah. I'm cautiously optimistic. Do you mean not so much?
That's good. That's good.
That's how it should be, I suppose. We're not sitting on the fence for this one. We save that for the trans debate, don't we, Jimmy?
We're on the fence with most. No, we're not on the fence with the trans debate. We side with trans people.
Yes, we do. Sorry.
We're on the fence on this. No, we're not, because you think it looks good, and I think it looked.
Yeah.
I think it looked bad.
Not so good. There we go. That was the trailer for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem. Out August 2023, as we can see there.
So if you're into Turtles, watch the I think it's The Toys That Made Us on Netflix. There's a brilliant documentary about Turtles, about the two guys who created the Turtles. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that, but I've seen like a 2-hour one completely dedicated to that story, and the origins from the comics into the boom of the late 80s, early 90s, and then like almost the death of it. And it's a really great documentary. I can't remember what it's called, but
that's cool.
Either go watch the one that Jimmy suggested, or the superior one that I suggested.
The one on Netflix reunites them at the end. Did they do that in the one you saw? Because they had a bit of a falling out.
No.
They have a bit of a falling out because of the licensing to do things with Turtles. Yeah.
What, Eastman and Laird?
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I bet they got a bit. I can imagine.
Well, one of them just didn't really want to change anything about them. The other one was like, money. I
mean,
they got rich.
From what I understand, the comics were quite dark and, almost like a noir type style, black and white, and they changed dramatically, almost changing the market they were targeting. The massive, colorful. Sorry, I keep hitting that. Massive, colorful TV show.
Yeah,
like targeted at kids. So yeah, there's a massive change in kind of, I guess,
style.
Philosophy.
Yeah,
style.
Yeah.
Very much purely to chase the Yankee dollar. Yeah,
we've been doing this too long.
We are middle-aged men. No, that is right. We are. So perhaps this isn't for us. Perhaps it isn't for us. What we have the 1990, 1991, whenever it was, that film, which was fantastic. I still maintain that's bloody brilliant.
Do you know what, Stu? I watched a review of that, the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, the other day by the Red Letter Media guys who I like. And I haven't seen that since it came out, I don't think. And they are raving about it. Yeah. They're absolutely raving about it. And they know their stuff, when it comes to not just, is it a good film, but the directing and the style and all of that sort of stuff. I'm like, maybe I need to give that another look.
Yeah. Love it. There we go. That was Hot Takes. There we go. Let's transition out of that with a sting. Oh, get rid of that. We don't want that, do we? Still time to enter the competition to win DC Justice League Cosmic Chaos. Just put in the chat. No one wants to win it, do they? Just put in the chat.
Alex, your kids have got PS5, haven't they? Come on, get someone to subscribe and put in the chat.
You want me or Alex?
Alex, yeah. Yeah. I'm sure his kids have got a PS5.
Yeah, do it. Put in the chat, DC Justice League. They'll love it.
But get someone to subscribe as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't cheat.
Right, it's time to let's send this show off into the ether, shall we, Jimmy?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go home. Let's go big and go home with and finally. So as always, I've got a sting for you. So let's wrap this show up and go home. We'll have the competition and we'll have the final story. So here we go. And finally. Right. Oh, they've got an Xbox. Can't help some people, can you?
No, can't give it away.
Can't give it away. Right. And finally, I'm calling this story Tats the Way to Do It. Because as a is hirsute, is that the right word? Does that mean hairy? Hirsute. What does it mean fat?
What are you looking at?
Hirsute. I
don't even know what word you were saying. I thought you were having a stroke.
Hirsute. Hirsute. It means it does mean hairy. So that's not what I'm. No, I'm not hirsute, am I? Anyway,
I don't know.
I'm sorry. It feels like I had a bit of a stroke there.
Yeah.
I'll move on.
Are you back?
Yeah, back in the room. So yes, for those that are on the larger side, let's say, like myself, and you can't be bothered to go to the gym and work out and get those washboard abs. I've got a solution for you. Well, someone has a solution for you.
Here we go. I'm excited about this, Stu.
So for people like, well, I don't want to know. I think it's unfair to include you in this, Jimmy, but certainly for people like myself,
at the moment, Stu, you include me comfortably,
who struggle with the gym, and would like just a quick fix for some body modifications. Let's say if you want washboard abs, don't go to the gym. Tattoo them onto your body.
What?
Man gets six-pack tattooed on belly to make sure he's summer ready. There we go. Pro tip for you. We're coming into spring. If you want to get the body ready for the beach, just get down to your local tattoo parlor. Get a six-pack drawn onto your stomach. As this chap has done.
He's got his pubic lead tattooed on there as well.
So the story goes, And this is from Lad Bible. So
yes, regular contributor to the show, Lad Bible.
A man's made sure that he's forever ready for the summer after getting a set of rock hard 6-pack abs tattooed onto his belly. It might seem a bit early to be thinking about getting ready for the warmer weather, but we're already into the third month of 2023, and before you know it, the sun will be shining down on us something fierce. While for many people this will mean getting down the gym and adjusting their diet to eat the right things, one clever man has followed the maxim of work smarter, not harder, certainly a mantra that we like to go for, with an ingenious tattoo. Clearly wondering why anyone would bother with the hard work of exercise and diet, he decided to just get the appearance of a six-pack without all the effort to get or maintain a toned belly. The tattoo means he'll always have a body ready for summer, and it only took him 2 days with a tattoo artist to achieve it, far less than he'd need to spend working up a sweat down at the gym. The work was done by Manchester-based tattoo artist Dean Gunther, who said he relished the challenge of tattooing a realistic six-pack onto someone after seeing other attempts at the same thing, which ended up being disappointing. Dean said, this is the tattoo artist, he always wanted to have a six-pack, but he's not too keen on going to the gym or doing a diet. So he decided that by getting a six-pack tattoo, he would always look summer ready while still being able to enjoy beer and good food. I was excited to do this tattoo because I've seen someone do it before, but it didn't look realistic and it was basic black outlines. I love that. Yeah, just draw some black outlines on their gut. It's fine.
That'll do.
So I decided to take on this challenge and do it completely differently. It's been one of my most unusual requests, but I'm all for it.
Yeah, so it would have been using browns and pinks, and I mean, this would be something I think John Simmons would be interested in, like that sort of that color tone to do this.
Yeah. Just reading further in the story, apparently there was also a woman who got tattooed left and right onto her hands, so she'd always be able to tell her left and right. Brilliant.
You can do that anyway, because that's an L.
That's bloody genius. So the other one must be right. Yeah. Brilliant. Huh. That's very good, Jimmy. Very good. But getting back to this story, for me, I don't know if you would agree, but he kind of looks like, do you remember Giant Gonzalez?
Yeah, the wrestler.
Who wore like the all-in-one unitard.
Yeah, with hair on it.
Massive wrestler in the mid-90s.
Yeah, he was. How tall was he? 7'8"?
Oh, God knows. Must have been.
Yeah.
Must have been that. Around, certainly over 7 foot. But when he came to the WWE, they decided to give him this like skin, like flesh-toned, like all-in-one. Well, like I say, what did I call it?
Bodysuit. Yeah, from wrist to ankle. The entire thing with a furry chest, and I think fur on his arms as well.
Indeed, yes, but it also had like defined muscles.
Yes,
as if they've been painted on, like this tattoo.
Yeah,
so
and
getting vibes of that.
He fought Undertaker at Mania, didn't he?
He did. Yeah.
He was awful, bless him. Apparently a very nice person, according to Jim Cornette. This is incredible. I'd like to see more pictures, though. Like, it's not the same color. He's going to have to wear a waistcoat with no top underneath, just the waistcoat to cover the white flesh.
Yeah, it does. It's very dark, isn't it? The tone they've used on the tattoo is very dark because you listeners won't be able to see this, but obviously if you watch back on YouTube, you'll be able to see that there's very much a definition as to where the six-pack ends and the rest of his body, his love handles begin, because they're pasty white, and then he gets his toned bronzed six-pack around the front. It's very strange.
Yeah, he should have carried on the rest of his body in that shade.
Yeah, it needs to be blended.
Yeah, he needs a permanent tan. But imagine seeing that. You'd be so confused looking at him going, what am I looking at here? Has he got tumors? It looks like a brain. Like it's bizarre to look at.
Yeah. There's a strange shine to it. Like they've obviously done some intricate highlighting work, but it looks more like a GCC art project as opposed to a nice realistic tattoo.
they've put even shadow like in his belly button.
Yeah, it's. Is that hair? Are you right? Is that hair drawn on?
I think so. Looks it.
Yeah, bizarre. All that so he can have a few pies and not go to the gym.
The cost of that. How long did it say it took him?
I don't know if it did.
Wasn't it in the opening? 2 days or?
Oh, I think it was a couple of days. Yeah.
100 quid an hour.
Yeah, it only took him 2 days. Yeah, with a tattoo artist to achieve it.
Probably
far less than he need to spend working up a sweat down at the gym. Yeah, 2 days, 2 solid days.
Over $1,000 for that.
Money well spent. Do you think?
Nah.
He could have just bought a bloody Giant Gonzalez bodysuit.
I have been tempted to get those. John Simmons Scale Modeler sent me a link the other day. Someone was selling like a muscle suit that and it looked like flesh. It did look like one. You could wear it and have muscles. 150 quid on Facebook. I don't know why I didn't get it.
Because you look ridiculous. That's why I did.
That was it.
Yeah. Is it like a morph suit, but I guess without the headpiece?
It was just the top half. It was just the top half. Came up to here, and it looked realistic, like muscles.
So would you wear it under your clothing?
You could do, but you could wear it outside because it was, my flesh coloured.
Right. How weird.
Yeah.
Crazy things that you can get these days on the internet. Crazy things. So there you go. If you're interested, someone in Manchester will do you a 6-pack, probably for a couple of grand. If you're really that bothered. There we go. Right. Let's finish off in style. Here we go. Let's get the wheel to win. This is your last chance, people. Okay.
Do you know what, Stu? A friend, Colin McDermott, has subscribed.
Is he?
He was listening.
Yeah.
But he said he'd done it on his phone. He's not very technical as our Colin, and he can't write comments. So because he can't write DC Justice League, do we discount him?
Colin M. Well, I think we put him in. Come on, let's put him in.
Let's put him in. There we go, Colin.
He's in.
If you're listening.
Anyone else? Do you know, at this point, I'm just going to assume that you have got us a subscriber. So if you want a chance to win DC Justice League Cosmic Chaos on your PlayStation 5 for your kids, it'll be a digital code that you will download. I can send you the code somehow and we'll get this done. Come on, let's do something for your kids. If you want in, just type in DC Justice League Cosmic Chaos in the chat. Come on. Whilst we do that, Jimmy, thank you for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure as always.
Thank you for having me.
No, it's always a pleasure. Never a chore, my friend.
It's nice.
We shall be here next week as always, but not the week after, I believe, because Jimmy has a social event, I believe.
That's correct. I am. Is that?
I think we're due. No, we're here next week, but not the week after. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, next week is the 17th. We will be here. It's Red Nose Day, Stu. So maybe we'll do something special for that.
There we go. Oh, Alex is in. He's in. Won't be able to use it, but he's in.
the Friday. The Friday after, I'm at a pop-up event in for the Lagom Chef. He's doing a big pop-up in London, food and drink.
You should. We need to get some business cards set up because you do like to kind of mingle with.
Oh, yeah, I'm mingle boy.
The hoi polloi. Get some business cards. Just comment or just get up on your phone. Subscribe to the Renaissance Men. Network.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, Alex.
Any more else? Last. What?
Alex, I'm sure you could come as well.
Okay. Last chance. Here we go. Last chance to win a copy of DC Justice League.
So what they'll get is a voucher, right? They'll get a promo code.
It's a code. It's like a 16-digit code that you will put that you can go onto your PlayStation 5 into the store, redeem the code, and it will give you a full copy of the game to download and play.
That's good, isn't it?
Worth probably about 40 quid. So
that's a big old bloody that's a big old prize.
Thanks to the good people at Outright Games, who we are ambassadors for.
All that gaming I do.
Yeah. and all that family-friendly content we produce.
Well, I think that's it, Stu.
Should we do it?
Let's do it. And you can gift it to people, can't they? They can gift it on.
You can do what you want with it. I'd like to think you'd play it, but if you want to give it to someone else as a gift or whatever,
just take a picture of that person with the promo code.
Yeah. Once the transaction has been made from my hands to yours, you do with it how you so wish. Here we go. I'm going to press the spin button.
Ooh.
Are we ready? Here we go. Come on, Benj. Come on, Benj.
I wonder what Mr. Meg would say now.
I think that's Neil. Yeah.
Hey!
Neil J, you have won our copy of DC Justice League Cosmic Chaos. Sorry, I almost forgot the title of the game there. So well done, Neil. I'll track you down somehow, probably on Twitter, I would imagine. So I'll send you a DM with the code, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you and all your kids, if you've got any, hopefully they enjoy it. So there we go. Thank you for your support, I guess. Thank you.
Good stuff. That was exciting.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. We should do more stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they'll give us. I'll probably get loads of games somehow. Fix. Yeah, you can't win, can you?
All he does is moan, that boy. All he does.
Anyway, that was episode 169 of the Renaissance Men podcast. There you go, Neil. There he is. He's won. Neil, I'll hit you up on Twitter and I'll send you the code, and hopefully you enjoy it. Right. Thank you, Neil, for joining us. Thanks, Alex. Thanks to John Simmons, Scale Modeler. Go subscribe to his channel. Where are we? Who else did we have?
We had
lots of chat about their social life.
The Rock obviously joined us.
Yeah, The Rock joined us. Metal Maniac joined us. God, it goes on and on.
Peter Turner.
Pete Turner, yeah. I should probably go from the top down, really. That's probably easier. Who else? Lord Doolan, he was around, wasn't he? If I didn't mention him, if you've mentioned him, he's got to mention twice. Neil, obviously, mentioned him. I think I might. I'm only halfway at the chat. Crikey.
Ben.
Oh, yeah, Ben White. Hello,
Martin
Ben. Good morning, Ben. Yeah, Martin Coker.
And Clive.
Yeah, Clive Inliden. Hello, Clive. Showcode, he was there.
Showcode, yeah.
There we go. Sorry if I've missed you.
Thank you.
If I have, but yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone, as always. Right. That was the show. If you missed us live, then you can get some catch up on demand. On YouTube or Twitch. We also have the podcast goes out on the audio feed as well, so you can listen to it on your commute if you missed it as well. So there we go. Thank you to one and all. Jimmy, as always, like I say, been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Until next week, please take care. Goodbye. And I've saved this. Fuck the BBC. Bye all.